Know we gotta let everything marinate. Y'all get in here. What's up? What's up? Okay. Hold on right quick, man. I just want to get this urgent. What's up, y'all? W gang. I'm trying to make sure everything together. That's all. Man, we got a lot of topics with a little bit. Hold up. W, lights up. Out my fault. Yeah, trying to get it right over there, bit right quick. Okay, okay, okay. Let me see here. Okay, okay, okay. There we go. I'm just making sure everything was good in the hood. How are you? What's up? Y'all double tap that screen as you come in, gang. Double tap that screen for me. Double tap that screen for me as you come in, gang. W, y'all. W, 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 W. What y'all got going? What y'all got going on? What y'all got going on, man? Late night with it. We late night with it. What's up, Daniel? What's that word? What's that word y'all heard on the curb? Let me know. We got a couple topics we're gonna get into right quick. Let's go ahead and start. We're gonna go ahead and start. Shall we start with this future thing? Yeah, let's start with this future thing right quick. Yeah, let's start this Future thing. And then we'll get into the Nolan Wells thing. Let's start this Future thing right quick. Future responded to Big U being charged for assaulting him in LAX airport. Let's get into that. Then we'll get into the Nolan Wells real quick. Gotta get the lights up for me, guys. We're just gonna jump into it. We ain't gonna wait. We only got 5 more minutes to wait, but we ain't gonna wait them 5 minutes. We're just gonna go on and jump into it, gang. Let's go on and jump into it right quick. Real quick, gang. Shout out to everybody in the building though. Let's go.
Charged for allegedly assaulting him at the international airport at LAX back in 2014. Make sure y'all smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's your boy Music 101, Street Reporter, and I'm back with another video. Let's get into it. The new indictment includes allegations that in 2014, Henley and his associates assaulted and later chased the Grammy-winning recording artist through Los Angeles International Airport to collect a debt and for failing to show respect. According to the U.S. Attorney Office in LA, although the artist is only identified by his initials, NDC, the Times was able to identify him through social media and news reports as Nevadius Damon Cash, the rapper known professionally as Future. Now, the crazy thing about this whole situation, Wack 100 told a story back in 2022 about allegedly chasing Future through LAX over unpaid debt.
Me, Trick, and Big U was real close at the time, right? Hey, Future owed some money. All right, Trick in Detroit. Me and Big U on a red-eye flight to Atlanta. We coming to LAX. We coming through the security, putting our bag through the thing. Who we see on the other side? Future and the girl that's with the back, the football player. Sierra. We see Future and Sierra. I say, bro, is that who I think it is? He looked. I said, yeah, I think you take the jock out of here. When we come to the thing, I say, hey, homie, you got that money for Trick? He take off run. I'm chasing over the dead homies through the it runs into a motherfucking terminal, and he runs into the thing, but it ain't hooked up to no plane. He left it. Bro. When he runs into the terminal, true story. Runs into the terminal, right? When he runs into the terminal, he take his phone out, right? He know he can only go so far, because what you gonna do, jump onto the runway?
Can we believe Wack 100? Can we believe him?
Throws the phone at me on speaker.
Get the lights up, gang.
Stunner boy. He say, Wack, it's me, Stunner. Talk to me. I say, Stunner, I'm busy right now. He said, yeah, but I don't want you to be, nephew. What the going on? I say, oh, Trick a bag, man. He can't be in our backyard, and he don't throw a bag. He gonna pay, or he finna get up, and then he gonna pay, right? Trick at home, he don't know what's going on. He in Detroit, right? He say, Wack, my word to you, I'll pay the debt. Let him be. I got business with that man. I said, what? He said, Wack, this Stunner talking to you. As your brother, leave him be. You got my word, whatever the debt is. Let me Trick, I'll pay him in the morning. On me. I'm giving you my word. I threw it back to fuck off. Trick got his wire.
Gia is agentic AI.
I don't know. Can we believe Wack 100? You know, he run a lot of plays. Wack 100.
Now, when the news broke that Big U was being charged for this incident of chasing Future through a LAX international airport and assaulting him, Future reposted a video from Doughboy back in 2022 when Wack 100
Let's get the 20 lights, gang.
made these allegations.
Top that screen.
Doughboy responded in 2022 and called Wack 100 cap. Future posted that video recently when the news broke that Big U was being charged for assaulting him back in 2014.
Niggas start off this line, though. What's the one thing? The singer, his baby mama. Bro, you know Sierra.
Shout out to Juju. Shout out to everybody in the building.
Crazy, bro. Like, bro, and then it don't even sound realistic at all, though. Like, you telling me you ran down on Pluto and Sierra? Oh, you's a bad mother. Oh, this crazy.
Big U responded to these allegations in his new charge and said, I have never been in LAX airport with Wack 100, nor did we run down on Future. Facts. I wish y'all get it in y'all head. These people lie all day. 10% truth, 90% them. I hate how no matter what someone said about Big U, it's just true. When is the hate going to stop? I made one mistake, and that was building a blank. And for that, B's and C's, I'm sorry, at Big U. Now, Big U say this cap. He ain't run down on Future, and he ain't never been in LAX airport with Wack 100. Now let's be honest. The feds gotta have more proof than what WAC 100 said, unless WAC 100 made a sworn statement and willing to testify.
That's what I'm saying. WAC, you might working with the police or something.
Whether it's true or not, because it make him look bad that he ran and got beat up by.
Hey, y'all double tap that screen for the game.
That right there gonna hurt his street cred. Now, if the feds don't have video footage, which I'm 100% sure they don't, unless someone else recorded it, because the output only keep footage from 30 to 90 days max. And if a random person recorded this back in 2014, it would have already been on the internet. So these charges gonna be dropped or beat unless they got actual proof. Now, Big U also got hit with a few more other charges. According to more documents, it's alleged that Nipsey Hussle 2011 diss track, You Don't Got a Clue, sparked a major fallout between him and Big U. Check out this.
Look, you don't got a clue. What you want to do? That you think that I'm going to stop?
For Big U?
Everybody know it's true. Still niggas act like they supposed to have control through it.
Boom. So I signed Nipsey to Unique Music, to my to Aramis Astrodome, to my label, to Unique Music. And then Steve was 10% management and I was 10% management because it didn't make no sense for us to go get another manager. Right. And so we started pushing on that. So I signed him to it. It was signed to a 10-year production contract, which started in 2009, which would end 2019.
Crazy.
Hello. But I ain't tripping off of that because, you know, it is what it is. But I do have that. You know what I mean?
Wait, so your deal with Nipsey was 10 years?
It's 10 years.
Was it 10?
It was 10 years, 25% of publishing to Aramis Astrodome.
Oh, wow. So 09 to 2019.
09 to 2019.
So technically, Victory Lap.
Hello.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. Help me. Okay. Because when I first met Nip,
according to the federal indictment, the dispute began over recording equipment before Nipsey released the track, which prosecutors say Big U believed was aimed directly at him. The documents allege Big U wanted to confront Nipsey, but Nipsey's brother stepped in and prevented the situation from escalating. The allegations is now a part of a broader federal RICO case against Big U, who is also facing new charges accusing him of attempting to have a witness harmed from jail. He has pled not guilty, and the allegations have not been proven.
New charges of solicitation for murder are filed against purported
That's
LA
crazy,
gang leader
y'all get the lights up for me.
Jr., better known as Big U.
They got some crazy.
The U.S. Attorney's Office says the 59-year-old was charged yesterday with asking two fellow jail inmates to murder a witness in a pending racketeering case against him. Federal prosecutors say he's also allegedly linked to the 2021 killing of an aspiring rapper in Las Vegas. Henley's attorney has not commented on the new charges.
Now, y'all know with this Nipsey situation, it was alleged that Big U, Nipsey, got into a fight. His brother Big Sam stepped in and a gun was fired in the air.
They killed Nipsey Hussle. Eric Holder was not a lone actor in that. If you go back and follow the details,
do y'all think he took out?
Got into it. Big U hit.
Y'all think that true? Y'all let me know in the chat, man.
His brother had to come out and shoot the gun. Hey, y'all get out. Say, Nip, come on, nigga, we finna come. Because I don't want to pay that $20,000. You say it's over this equipment, but the white folks is pulling me away from the set. That Monday had a meeting with the LA County, with the LA Police Department on gang intervention program before he come up dead. So now Nip and Big U done fill out over $20,000 worth of equipment. So they say, but it's really over $20,000 extortion fee to pay for protection.
Dang, y'all think that true, man? Y'all let me know, man.
Now, y'all also know that Big U went viral for laughing that Nipsey Hussle got killed online.
Justice for them.
Oh, they laughing.
Justice for them.
Oh, they laughing. Say it ain't so. Tell me that AI.
You did.
Tell me somebody just put something together.
And y'all know it also went viral Loose Cannon went on No Jumper and said that Big U called him before Nipsey was shot and killed and said Nipsey just got killed. Loose Cannon said he hung up the phone, called Nipsey phone.
What?
Nipsey answered. 10 minutes later, it hit the news that Nipsey was killed.
What?
So according to Loose Cannon, Big U already
This is crazy
knew
work, gang.
Nipsey was finna die. He just made the phone call too early.
You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Nip
Hold
answered the phone.
Yeah.
Wait,
You
am I
like
tripping?
Talking on regulars.
Hold
so
up,
it's like,
wait. Get the lights up, gang. I'm gonna be tripping,
And
man.
y'all know it also went viral.
Wait.
Loose Cannon went on No
I
Jumper
gotta hear this
and
again.
said that Big U called him before Nipsey was shot and killed and said Nipsey just got killed. Loose Cannon said he hung up the phone, called Nipsey phone, and Nipsey answered. 10 minutes later, it hit the news that Nipsey was killed. So according to Loose Cannon, Big U already knew Nipsey was finna die. He just made the phone call too early.
You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got killed.
yeah.
You panic, call Nip. Nip answer the phone.
Yeah, and
You
we
like
were just talking on regulars. So
Regular.
it's like at the end of the day, I didn't even think about it because
You don't even warn him that you got that call from dude.
No, because
Y'all, let's get the 20
their
lights, gang.
relationship
Let's
was
go.
so
Let's
fucked
go.
up. It'd
Hit
be
the like
like,
button.
they
Double
be
tap.
hot one
Let's
minute,
go.
Then they be cold the next minute, and then they be lukewarm. Like you
And
just
30
never know.
minutes after you get off the phone with Nip, he get killed.
Yeah, I got it.
So
all
you
on
think
the
he hit
TV,
you a little too early?
Yep, he hit me a little bit too early because the homie City double back 3 times. You hear what I'm saying?
And the feds is
Man,
saying
that's
the
crazy.
Big
Is
U
that true?
and Nipsey beef stemmed from some studio equipment, and then after it was the altercation, and then Nipsey Hussle made a diss track. Y'all get in the comments and tell me what you think about this whole situation, man.
That's
If
crazy.
you enjoying the content, make sure you like, comment, subscribe,
That's
turn on
crazy,
all post
man.
notifications. It's free. Do it for me.
Yo, Future was a victim like that? Yo, that goes to show, you know Young Berg's career got completely killed because Young Berg was seen as hip-hop's pinata. Trick slapped him, Mano slapped him, everybody slapped him or took his chain or whatever the case is.
They
And
weren't slapping
his
him
career
around.
just
was
couldn't
it?
exist.
So they're
I
just
didn't know
smacking that
Future
man
was getting
around.
beat up, chased, all that type of stuff.
Man, chill out.
Yo, Future got one of the coolest careers. I'm wondering if it was kind of known. Would that like affect the cool
Ain't no
guy
way
image
that's
he
true.
has?
Ain't no way Future was getting beat up, man. I don't
It's
believe
probably
that.
hard to play.
We would've heard
play
about that
cool,
jump, bro.
Smooth guy and be like, yo, bro, did you get your ass whipped just now?
Man, we would have heard
Do you
about
think
that.
that would
jump.
have changed anything, y'all?
I'm gonna be honest. We would have heard about it, man. I don't care what nobody says. We would have heard about that. We would have heard about that, gang. I don't think it's true. But hey, it's LA politics. LA beef. They saying Big U had something to do with Nipsey. I don't know, gang. I don't know. He might have did, might have didn't. I ain't here to put no case on nobody. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't here to put no case on nobody. I'm just breaking down what they saying. They're saying that Big U had something to do with Nipsey. That's what they saying, not me. Crazy work. If he had something to do with that, that's crazy work. And for y'all and for old boy that what his name is, Shitty Cuz, for him to just walk up on him like that and then kick the man in the head, gang, and GTA, that's crazy work. Then they said Nipsey homeboys was standing around, which was crazy work. I don't know how true that was. I wasn't there. I wasn't on the scene. But for his homeboys to be standing around and see that happen, if that happened like that, that's crazy work too. If it happened like that. I'm just going off of what they saying. Yeah, this is crazy, guy. This is crazy work. Hold on, let's get into this right here. Let's get into this right. One more. Let's get into one more real quick. Then we'll hop into this Nolan news. Let's go, man.
To take down DNA, he wouldn't give them his DNA, so they had to serve him a search warrant to get his DNA.
Get out, and then they have to have an experience before they realize I should have checked in.
Yeah.
acting United States Attorney here in Los Angeles. Today, we're here to announce federal criminal charges against Eugene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, and a youth charity
Get the lights up, gang.
his own criminal enterprise.
Let's get the 20 lights. Let's get the 20 lights, gang.
Extortion, robbery, human trafficking, COVID fraud, and other felonies. Mr. Henley and several other individuals linked to him and his criminal enterprise were charged in a criminal complaint with federal racketeering conspiracy. Mr. Henley is a fugitive, and he is currently wanted by federal law enforcement. Other individuals linked to his criminal enterprise were arrested today, approximately 10 defendants who are charged in various indictments. Again, Mr. Henley is a fugitive. 4 defendants are in state custody and will be transferred into federal custody. And we are still seeking Mr. Henley and another fugitive.
Man, we gotta talk, because Big U federal case just got a whole lot bigger. I'm talking about an 85-page indictment that the feds just dropped. And after reading it, I can tell you right now, this ain't just some paperwork. They added a whole lot of new allegations that wasn't in the last one. They talking about murder, trying to keep witnesses quiet while incarcerated, robbery, non-profit money, taxes. It's a lot. And if what the government is alleging is true, they're trying to paint the picture that this wasn't just one crime. They're saying this was an entire enterprise. Now, before we go over this one, y'all already know how we do it over here. An indictment is just that, an indictment. These are allegations by federal prosecutors, and everybody charged is presumed innocent until they proven guilty in court. My job not to pick a side. My job is to show you exactly what the paperwork says. And trust me, some of the stuff in this new indictment caught me completely off guard. The feds are alleging Big U ordered violent acts, tried to stop witnesses from talking, and laid out what they say happened to an artist they identified as RW. We went over that in the last video, but it also included allegations involving Grammy-winning artists. We're going to separate what's rumor, what's public, and what's actually in this indictment. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it.
Make another PSA. Listen, if you ever wish payday came sooner, this might actually help.
All
It's a
right.
banking app called
All
Current.
right.
Tools. And one of the main tools.
Hey, bro.
Get rushed in LA club. They was on it. That's why they was on it. Talking about Trick from Detroit. Nah, Trick from Detroit. So, that's broke, right? So, all I know is, we always knew who owed somebody some money. So when we leave and we go into Atlanta, you know that story I tell Rich about when Big U said, Wack, catch this flight with me, I want to show you something. And he took me out there and took me to the Four Seasons. He said, I'm going to turn this out to the 60s. They got a blood neighborhood around the corner. You can turn that out. And I said, nigga, you tripping. I went back to that airport and left. It was that trip. That was the trip. We on that red-eye Delta flight. Same one I used to always catch one junked off on. Right. So the nigga, when we come through, Big U he say, little bro, is that the nigga? I look. I said, that's the shooter, bitch. I said, hey, sister, come here. Let me holler at you. You know when you first come through, when you grab your shit off the conveyor belt on the other side, it's somewhere.
Let's get like 30 lights, gang. Bump that, man. Let's get the 30
right
lights.
behind him. We on
Double
the
tap
Delta
screen.
side, right? It ain't number one flight leaving that night going to Atlanta, right? All
We
the
in here
other
late
red
night
eyes
with
on
it,
American
man.
time.
Come on,
So
man.
the nigga breaks right.
Turn that
and
bit up
runs
for me,
into
yo.
the thing that connected to the plane, but it wasn't no plane. The nigga throws the phone. When I pick the phone up, it's another reason why Future ain't gonna say nothing, because I make the homie come on Clubhouse and tell the truth. He know, right? I pick the phone up. He say, bro, I say, what's up? He say, what's the problem? I say, oh, the homie. He said, who? I tell him. He said, what he owe him? I said, this light ain't nothing but a dime, but he owe him. He played it. Nigga been ducking it. He say, Wack, my word, I sent it in the morning. Give me his wire. My word is on me. I got business with that nigga. Let him be. He said, let him be. I said, all right, you got that. I dropped the phone on the ground and walked back out. He sent Trick his money the next day.
Have you seen Future since then? Now, all over the internet, that seemed to be the focus. Big U press Future as of right now, based on the new superseding indictment. But they also not looking at Wack indicating that it was just him and Big U at the airport. And based on this new paperwork, Big U and the co-conspirator was at the airport, allegedly attacking Future. So why they got Wack as co-conspirator 1, allegedly?
Next video, I'm going to go turn myself in to see what's going on. They talking about I'm a fugitive. So they just raided all my houses. 600 was actually with the police when they raided my house. And he's actually got video and footage of it. So y'all know what y'all dealing with. And I just want to say this to y'all. When they raided my houses and my property, they was asking about Wack. Whack, Loose Cannon, 600, and this internet stuff. All of y'all fired. All y'all who be sending shit around the internet, all y'all who be promoting and listening to what these niggas saying, all y'all giving these likes and hidden likes, all y'all supporting this. All y'all guilty of this shit. If you had something against a black man, you should handle it with a black man in the streets. Wack said 100 times he was gonna take my contracts. He working with the FBI. The FBI went to the city.
Before we try to break that down and see if that's true or not, that's later in the indictment. Let's literally start on page 1. Before we get into the murders, the robberies, and everything else the feds are alleging, we gotta understand who they saying was involved. Because the first few pages of this indictment aren't about proving a crime. They're about introducing the people and setting the stage for everyone that's coming later. The very first name is one everyone already knows. Eugene Henley Jr., better known as Big U. But look how the indictment introduces him. They don't just call him Big U. They list his allies, which is Unc, Draws, Hannibal Muhammad, Anybody Killer, and Dave Austin.
Draw. Hold up. Wait. Hold up. They called him what? Draws. Big draws. I think somebody else said that one time. Big draws. Man, come on, bro. Bro, ain't no way they call that man no damn big draws, bro. I'm done. I'm done with the internet. I'm being honest. I'm done.
Yeah, I went to the city.
Before we try to break that down and see if that's true or not, that's later in the indictment. Let's literally start on page 1. Before we get into the murders, the robberies, and everything else the feds are alleging, we gotta understand who they saying was involved. Because the first few pages of this indictment aren't about proving a crime. They're about introducing the people and setting the stage for everyone that's coming later. The very first name is one everyone already knows. Eugene Henley Jr., better known as Big U. But look how the indictment introduces him. They don't just call him Big U. They list his allies, which is Unc, Draws, Hannibal Muhammad, Anybody Killer, and Dave Austin.
I'm done, guys. I'm done, isn't it?
Big U. Oh, we want all of them. A Big U, Hannibal, Anybody, Unique. You know what I'm saying?
Look, this is the easiest consent banner I have ever set up on a website. We are talking under 10 minutes, no code, and it's...
Yeah, Dante, Draws, you know.
Draws.
Commonly known to my family as Big Draws.
That's important because prosecutors are trying to connect all of those
names
to one individual before they even start presenting evidence. Then they move to the people they say were the closest to him. First, Sylvester Robinson, also known as Vape. The government described him as Big U long-time criminal partner, rather. They don't just say they knew each other. They describe Robinson as Big U's right-hand man, underboss, and enforcer. That's the government's wording. You'll hear those titles come up throughout the indictment. Next is Mark Martin, also known as Big Claw. Prosecutors say he was another close associate, a self-admitted rolling 60s member, and someone they believe helped Big U's business operations. According to the indictment, Mark owned Under the Hood Muscle Cars in California and co-founded Unique Music Entertainment with Big U. Then there were additional defendants, Tremaine Williams, also known as Loose Cannon, Amani, also known as Monty Frederick Blayton Jr., and Tiffany Hines. We'll get into what prosecutors specifically accuse each of them as we move through the different counts, because not everybody is charged with the exact same crimes. Now here's where things started getting interesting to me. The feds aren't saying this was just a group of friends. They were saying this was an organized criminal enterprise. In fact, they gave it a name, the Big U Enterprise. According to prosecutors, this alleged enterprise operated in Los Angeles and elsewhere, and they claim its members worked together over the course of years to commit crimes that included murder, robbery, extortion, fraud, human trafficking, and witness tampering. The indictment say Big U wasn't just involved in the streets. Prosecutors say he was also the CEO of a nonprofit called Developing Options. They say Mark Martin served as the chief financial officer, and Robinson was the organization payroll. According to the indictment, the organization also operated under names like Unique Ballers, Crenshaw Rams Football, Crenshaw Youth Football and Cheer, and Crenshaw Ballers. On paper, Developing Options was supposed to help keep young people away from gangs, drugs, and violence through the intervention program and youth sports. That's how it presented itself publicly, according to the indictment. But the government say there were another side of it. According to federal prosecutors, Developing Options received about $550,000 a year through Los Angeles Gang Reduction Youth Development, GRYD program. The indictment say between 2018 and 2023, the organization received more than $2.35 million in public funding. Prosecutors allege Big U, Mark Martin, were responsible for making sure the organization complied with the grant's requirements, including employee background checks, training, certifications, budgeting, payroll, and required reporting. Now, at this point, the government hasn't yet explained what they believe happened to that money. They're laying the foundation. They're showing the jury what position these defendants allegedly held before they even get into the later allegations of fraud and misuse of nonprofit resources. And that's something you'll notice throughout this indictment. The prosecutors don't jump around. They build the case piece by piece. First they tell you who everyone is, then they explain what roles they allegedly played. Only after that do they start laying out specific crimes they say were committed. And trust me, that's where this indictment starts taking a turn. Because in the next section, the feds explain what they say the purpose of this alleged enterprise really was. And it's much broader than just one murder case. Next was the check-in culture. The feds don't describe it as a network of paying respect. According to the indictment, they allege it became a way to demand money, exert control, and determine who could safely conduct business in Los Angeles. They even quote statements prosecutors attribute to Big U from podcasts and documentaries to support that theory. And that's exactly where this indictment really starts connecting public statements to the government's criminal allegations. Now, fam, this is probably one of the most talked about parts in this indictment. Because if you listen to interviews over the last 10 to 15 years, you probably heard people talk about checking in. Big U even had a podcast called Check In. Some people say it was about showing respect. Others say it was about making sure everybody was safe. According to prosecutors, certain people coming into Los Angeles, including professional athletes, musicians, entertainers, and even people involved in criminal activity, were expected to contact Big U before doing business in the city. The indictment say the purpose was simply introducing yourself. The government alleged people were expected to ask permission, and in many situations make payments to receive what prosecutors describe as protection while they were in Los Angeles. Now here's where this section is a little bit different. The feds aren't relying on only one witness statement. They're using Big U's own public interviews, documentaries, and podcasts as part of their case. In the Big U podcast Checking In, the quote lyrics from opening Check In when they arrived in Los Angeles and warned that if they don't, it's gonna get hot.
Hop off the plane, check in. Penthouse suite, check in.
But to the government, those public statements help explain what they believe the phrase was inside the alleged enterprise. Then they brought up another statement. According to the indictment, prosecutors quote Big U from the documentary Hip Hop Uncovered when they alleged that if he didn't answer the phone, that can mean death for somebody. The indictment brings up something from around 2017. According to prosecutors, Big U was recorded speaking to a film. Hey,
let's get the 30 lights, gang.
The government alleged they told them that if they wanted to film in the neighborhood, they needed to check in. Prosecutors also alleged he warned that if they didn't, we're going to check in all your equipment.
Hit that sub button if you're new.
Don't matter. You're nice, go hard.
Movie production in the hood. That's how we do it, young man.
Top flight, baby. Security.
GB running this here movie set in the hood.
Come on out here.
They coming out here checking in with GB, getting these movies done. You better know it. So, anytime you want to do movies in the hood, just check it in. We can make sure it's done. Movies, videos. But if you don't check it in,
Oh, well. Let's go check your ass out.
we're gonna check you in, all right? We're gonna check in all of your equipment. We're gonna check in all of your equipment.
I include that because the government is trying to show a pattern. And fam, at this point, we just getting started because the next section and this indictment finally moves away from explaining what the enterprise is and begins laying out the overacts, the specific events prosecutors say actually happened. And the very first one is the allegation that has been at the center of this federal case from the very beginning, the murder of R.W. in Las Vegas, a young man who was a football star, or a football player, played with Big U's son. Now, we all know Big U's son now plays in the NFL, but unfortunately his friend didn't make it. He ended up becoming a rapper under Big U. He ended up dissing Big U. Days later, he was dead. The very first act they focus on is the murder of a man they identify only by his initials, R.W. We already identified him in the first video. I'll leave the link in the bio. According to prosecutors, RW was an artist signed to or working with Unique Music, and they alleged Big U believed RW had disrespected both him and what they called the Big U Enterprise. Those allegations contained in the indictment. Now here's what stood out to me. The government isn't saying this happened after some random argument. They're alleging this was planned days before. According to the indictment, prosecutors say Big U arranged for RW to travel from Los Angeles to Las Vegas to record music at a studio owned by a Grammy-winning producer. They don't identify the producer by name in the indictment, only by description. The government say an employee of Unique Music identified only as KF booked RW's plane ticket, and not only that, they allege KF also booked RW's Airbnb through January 19th through the 26th of 2021 because the purpose of the trip was supposed to be recording music. So from the government perspective, everything about the trip looked normal. A plane ticket, a place to stay, studio time, everything looked like business. But according to prosecutors, things changed on January 24th, 21. The indictment alleged Big U and Sylvester Robinson drove from Los Angeles to Las Vegas in a Lexus. Why? The government say they went to the studio to confront RW because they believe he hadn't been taking the recording sessions seriously and had wasted expensive studio time. According to prosecutors, Big U confronted RW about missing studio work and accused him of disrespecting Unique Music and the alleged enterprise. Now, family, think about what prosecutors are doing. Every fact they're laying out is building a timeline. They're trying to show a jury there was a reason for a trip, a reason for the confrontation, and eventually, according to the government, a motive. But we're still not in the part that investigators believe is the murder itself. Because in the next session, the feds start talking about cell phone location data, airplane mode, and the drive away from the studio. Not to mention the trip towards a remote area north of Las Vegas. And what exact timeline they say places Big U with RW shortly before RW's body was discovered. According to the indictment, after RW finished recording at the studio, something changed. The government alleged that shortly before 1 a.m. on January 25th, 2021, Big U's two cell phones suddenly stopped reporting location data. Now here's why prosecutors say that's significant. According to the indictment, investigators believe both phones either were turned off or placed into airplane mode at nearly the same time while Big U was still in the area of the recording studio. According to prosecutors, Big U drove RW from the studio back to the Airbnb. But here's what they say happened next. Instead of staying there for the night, the indictment alleged that around 1:20 in the morning, RW came back outside with his suitcase already packed. Think about that for a second. According to the government, his return flight to Los Angeles wasn't scheduled until the next day. His Airbnb reservation also wasn't supposed to end until the next day. Yet prosecutors allege he left the Airbnb early carrying his luggage and got into the Lexus with Big U. The indictment alleged Big U drove north of Las Vegas towards an area near Apex Regional Landfill. The government doesn't spend pages speculating about what happened there. Instead, they simply lay out the route they say investigators reconstructed using.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
Using digital evidence and location.
What's up, Drizzy? What's up, Mr.
The
W? Everybody in there, bit, man.
The
No
indictment
cap.
alleged Big U drove back towards Las Vegas. Not around 2:15 a.m.
Yeah, he
government
cooked.
says both cell phones
It's over.
suddenly began
W, y'all.
reporting location information again. Remember, just a little earlier, prosecutors alleged both phones had stopped transmitting location data. According to the indictment, around 2:20 a.m., Big U allegedly called Sylvester Robinson, who prosecutors say had remained at the recording studio. A short time later, the indictment alleged Big U returned to the studio, and according to the prosecutors, when someone asked where he'd been, he allegedly said he had gone to the gym. According to the indictment, later that day, RW's body was found in the north of Las Vegas with multiple gunshot wounds to the head. The indictment even includes a photograph identifying the general location, where prosecutors say the body was recovered. And if you thought that's where the story ends, it doesn't, because the next session isn't about the murder itself. It's about what the feds say happened after the murder. In fact, the thing we talked about so far is the government's timeline leading up to RW's death. The next section is about what prosecutors say happened after. Because according to the indictment, the murder wasn't the end of it. The feds alleged that almost immediately, people began taking steps to make sure investigators wouldn't be able to piece together what happened. Those allegations contained in the indictment and remained unproven unless established in court. The first thing prosecutors pointing to is a phone call. According to the indictment, after RW was killed, Big U contacted the Grammy-winning producer, whose studio RW had been using. Why? The government alleged Big U told the producer that Nevada homicide detectives were going to be contacting him about the murder investigation. Now, by itself, some people might say that's just giving somebody a heads up, but then prosecutors describe what they say happened next. According to the indictment, the very next day, Big U allegedly contacted the same producer again and demanded that the producer and his employees leave the recording studio. And this is where the government theory start getting serious. Federal prosecutors allege that at Big U's direction, an associate identified only as DS, along with others, removed portions of the studio's security system, including surveillance video and data covering the time period when RW, Big U, and Robinson had been inside the studio. A couple days later, prosecutors say KF, the same employee they alleged booked RW's travel and Airbnb, contacted the Airbnb owner and asked a very specific question. According to the indictment, he allegedly wanted to know whether there were cameras on the property. But the part that really jumped off the page for me came almost 2 years later. According to the indictment, prosecutors intercepted a phone call on December 31st, 2022. In that call, they alleged Big U made statements about how he handled problems with other men and suggested that if he had a serious issue with someone, either that person wouldn't be here or he wouldn't be here. The government included that quote because prosecutors believe it reflects the mindset they existed inside the alleged enterprise. But the next section gets into intercepted phone calls, switching vehicles, avoiding detectives, and cryptic FaceTime conversations, warning family members not to talk, and what prosecutors say were coordinated efforts to stay one step ahead of investigators. And that's where witness tampering had allegedly begun. In the next section of this indictment, according to the feds, once detectives started closing in, the government alleged the focus shift from the crime itself to making sure nobody helped investigators. According to prosecutors, everything really picks up on February 14, 2023. That's when detectives allegedly went looking for Big U in connection to RW's murder. The indictment said investigators went to his residence, but according to the government, his wife allegedly told detectives that Big U didn't actually live there full time. According to the indictment, after speaking with detectives, Big U's wife allegedly called him using his father's phone.
Dre said Rico coming. Y'all think Rico coming?
First question wasn't, what do they want? According to prosecutors, he asked, how many officers are there? According to prosecutors, after learning detectives were looking for him, Big U allegedly stopped going home for several days. The government also alleged he switched vehicles with co-defendant Sylvester Robinson. Again, each one of these facts standing alone may not prove anything, but prosecutors are telling the jury to look at the total picture instead of one event. Then on February 21st, 2023, Big U allegedly instructed his own son not to talk to anyone about RW's murder. The indictment also alleged he told his wife to contact KF's mother. But here's what caught my attention. According to prosecutors, he allegedly instructed her to use FaceTime for that conversation. On July 5th, 2023, federal investigators had a hidden recording device inside under the hood muscle cars. Prosecutors alleged that after law enforcement tried contacting Big U, Mark Martin, Big U began wondering out loud whether they were under surveillance in connection with RW's. Now, in Part 8 is the alleged extortion operation. This is where the indictment shifts away from the RW homicide and talk about something prosecutors say been going on for years, including the incident with Future. According to the feds, this wasn't just about one person. They alleged the enterprise was making money by intimidating people into paying what they describe as extortion payments. And the first example was someone they don't identify by name. Instead, the indictment refers to the person only as NDC, describing him as a Grammy-winning recording artist. And for those who don't know, Future's real name is Nevadius Damum Wilbur, also known as Nevadius Damum Cash. According to prosecutors, back in 2014, Big U allegedly approached this artist to collect money on behalf of someone from Detroit, Trick. The government says when the artist refused to pay and stopped answering calls, things escalated. The incident alleged Big U and others committed violence against the artist and members of his security team because the refusal to pay. Now, two people was there according to WAC 100, Big U and him. And if the feds know this, it will have to be Future or WAC 100, who allegedly gave up this information.
What's wrong with you, man?
No, I'm not. That's why I said I wasn't going to call you.
Remo, I just called Remo all kind of bitch ass nigga. Nigga running my now. I said the crazy part about it is 90% of you motherfuckers wasn't even around back then to even know what you read. First of all, Future ain't never give us touch. I ain't never heard Future get his ass whooped in LA. Let's cover that.
I knew somebody was lying.
And I made it clear that Big U stayed behind when I had the conversation with him, so he never touched me. Then he talking about days later in LA. Well, we all took a rant.
I told you I never heard that.
Night. Big U stayed in Atlanta a week. I came back the same day. Same day I landed, I came back. So there's no way days later Future got his ass whooped in LA and Big U stayed in motherfucking Atlanta for a week.
I'm telling you.
Party
now I can't agree with WAC 100 on that.
I mean, now you got to remember, I've always said this because it was on the internet. Remember when the dumb bozo was telling me nothing was going on? It was a party in Hollywood.
Yeah.
It was a party in Hollywood.
Was it BT weekend? Was it BT Award weekend?
I don't know. They took off on dude security and shit. That's in the. You can find
Hey,
that
everybody
on
double
Google,
tap that screen for me. Hit the sub button.
It ain't
Let's go.
adding up
Donate to the
because,
platform. Like the gifts and super chats up for me.
wasn't attacked
Let's
in
go.
no airport. 2 wasn't no
We in here late
homeboys
night.
there. 3, it was a conversation. 4, we all got on the red eye going to Atlanta. I came back. I landed that day, 6 in the morning, whatever time, and I came back that day. Big U stayed a week. Future stayed in Atlanta as well, so ain't no days later he got his ass whooped in LAX because the nigga wasn't in LA. And he never was cut. So I'm looking at the initials, but they shit ain't adding up. I mean, it ain't a charge, it's just an overt act anyway.
Yeah, it's an overt act.
It ain't a charge, but
The only thing that was kind of sus is that, like, they're alluding to the story you told about Future, and
I'm always telling the story. For one, it wasn't no extortion. It was a real deal. That was a real debt, and it really got paid. And Future ain't even the one that paid it. I've always said that. Future didn't pay that debt. He got paid the next day. It only got paid because it was a real. If you owe a motherfucker, I've been on the nigga all week. Owe me $10,000 this week. I've been on his ass all week. Nigga, I really getting you $20,000. You only sent back 10, and I need another 10, motherfucker. I really gave you that. They go to motherfucking wire document to where you owe. So I don't know what people don't understand. If a motherfucker owes some money, you see a motherfucker, you gonna holler at a motherfucker. But motherfucker saying he was assaulted and like, where you get that's all cap.
And that's where the thin line, because I agree with you in this sense, and I'm wondering how they're trying to like lump everything into extortion. Like,
I'm telling you what's going on.
If I owe you $100 and I come to you and I say, yo, you gonna pay me my $100, even if we have a heated discussion, am I extorting you or I'm asking you for payment for something you owe? Like, the money that you never stated that money was anything other than a debt he owed. It wasn't on some, that's a check-in fee or that's
Hey, bro, I ain't never participated in no check-in fee with nobody. I don't believe in that shit. But and another thing you gotta understand is, big you co-defendants, if y'all don't know what y'all read. Okay. Like if you read in 2023, Vay, who's 60 years old out of Northridge, right, says that he was holding one of Big U guns when they went and threatened the dispensary owner, right? Pay attention. Vay is in the RICO. He's one of the dudes that's free. This story about Future, this ain't coming from Future. This is coming from one of his homeboys on the RICO telling the story of what he thinks is happening, and it's between 2 of them. It's either between Hop or Bear Claw, right?
Why do you think the feds put this in now? Because it wasn't in the other indictment.
It's because nigga, his codees is talking. Now they wasn't even there. This would lead me to believe it's one of his codees told that story because the story's off. You know how niggas would go back and add shit? You know, you call the nigga, we put hands on him and all this old shit. Because reading that, it don't make sense. Because the nigga was never touched, and days later, he wasn't in LAX. The nigga was in Atlanta. Big U wasn't even in LA, he was in Atlanta. So that's why when I'm reading, I'm like, either this is another incident, or one of his codees is just telling these people something to tell them something. It don't make sense. He never was. I've never known Future was getting his ass whooped in LA.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I knew somebody was capping, bro. I say ain't no way Future got whooped. And we ain't hear about it. Ain't nobody. We ain't hear nothing about it.
They put, and I don't know if they're referring to you or I get it. Maybe with a Future, not Future. I mean, Big U's homeboys saying some shit to the feds, but they were like, they said Big U and a co-conspirator. And from the story we hear, we're wondering if that's aimed at you.
The prosecutors allege that just a few days later, Big U and another person chased the same artist through Los Angeles International Airport in another attempt to intimidate him into paying. They only speak on 2 people, fam. That's important. And remember what I said earlier in this video. Years ago, Wack 100 publicly talked about an incident involving Future at the airport. Then the indictment moves to another alleged victim, identified as Victim 1. According According to prosecutors, Victim 1 was involved in promoting music and clubs before later becoming associated with the unlicensed marijuana dispensary in Los Angeles. The government alleged that for years, Victim 1 was paying Big U as much as $25,000 a month in extortion payments. They alleging a reoccurring payment that continued until Victim 1 eventually stopped answering Big U's phone call. According to the indictment, that's when things allegedly escalated again. Federal prosecutors say July 5th, 2021, Sylvester Robinson, Tremaine Ashley Williams, better known as Loose Cannon, and about 9 other individuals allegedly went to Victim 1 marijuana dispensary. The government alleged they robbed the business, taking cash, marijuana products, and personal property from the...
Are you interested in becoming a truck driver? Well, we'll go over some of those requirements.
From the people inside. Victim 1 was then invited to Big U's house. The indictment alleged when Victim 1 arrived, some of the same people who had allegedly robbed him were there. And prosecutors say many of them had the items that they robbed from him in plain view. According to the indictment, Big U allegedly looked at Victim 1 and said, "That's how you rob yourself." The government then alleged Big U returned only part of the stolen property and told Victim 1 he would have to pay $10,000 if he wanted to prevent future robberies. According to the prosecutor, it didn't stop there. The alleged Big U encountered Victim 1 to identify other marijuana businesses that could be robbed, promising Victim 1 a share of the proceeds from those future robberies. Then the next session, they introduced another name that's been making headlines in hip-hop because prosecutors began discussing intercepted phone calls involving Brick Baby, alleged robbery proceeds, and conversations about splitting money. Now here's where things get strange because Brick Baby is not listed as one of the defendants in the indictment, but federal prosecutors do mention him by name and describing intercepted calls and what they allege happened surrounding robbery proceeds. And that's an important distinction. According to the indictment, on November 11, 2022, prosecutors say Big U had intercepted conversations with Zir Mitchell, also known as Brick Baby. The government's allegations is that the two were discussing money connected to a robbery. Specifically, prosecutors allege Big U and Brick Baby coordinated how proceeds from that robbery would be delivered. Again, it's the government's allegations. According to prosecutors, another intercepted call involving Frederick Blayton Jr., who was one of the defendants in the case. The government alleged Blayton described a robbery where a victim was forced to call his supplier before being robbed. According to the indictment, after hearing about the robbery, prosecutors say Big U responded by saying he was going to take half of whatever was collected, giving a portion to Vade, Sylvester Robinson, and have Robinson deliver the remaining money. According to the prosecutors, Big U can allegedly be heard counting money in the intercepted calls. The indictment say he commented that there was only $2,000 to $3,000. According to the government, Blayton responded by saying Brick Baby had told him there should have been between $5,000 to $7,000, and that someone needed to call him about the missing money. Then the indictment jumps ahead to March 3rd, 2023, and this is the most revealing allegation in this section. According to prosecutors, Big U allegedly described what they call modus operandi, or operating method, of these robberies. The government alleged he explained that the victims were always robbed of everything they had. Instead, prosecutors say the idea was leave victims with enough money to continue making money so they could allegedly be robbed again, identify new robbery targets, or even buy back some of the property they had been taken from them. But that's what the government proves happened. Prosecutors will argue it wasn't a random robbery. Now, since then, Big U has fired his attorney and represented himself in his case. Don't know how to feel about that. But since then, the feds claim while incarcerated, they've been trying to get the people whose witnesses in his case hit up while they in jail. But there you have it, fam. That was the latest on the Big U saga with him inside the feds.
Man,
more
that's
charges
crazy.
being added on. Person with no bond.
Y'all think Big you had something to do with it? Y'all think he guilty or innocent? Is Big U guilty or innocent, gang? Let me know.
Halloween. One of his sons has still managed to overcome every obstacle while playing in the NFL. I'll leave both videos in the bio.
That's crazy, gang.
Let me know how you guys feel about this one in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys.
That's crazy, gang. Let's get into another weird situation. Is he guilty or innocent? I don't know, gang. Only time will tell. Let's go look into another well. Let's get into another weird situation, man. Let's hop into it right quick, man. Yeah, boy, got some crazy junk going on. Did he have something to do with Nip? I don't know, gang. They saying he did, not me. Praise the word. Anyway, let's get into this Nolan's well situation. First off, let's pop let pop it out with that uh Judd Mathis. Let's pop it out with Judd Mathis right quick. He gonna pop it out, then we're gonna dive deep into it. Let's pop it out with Judd Mathis right quick. He want to speak a little bit. Let's go.
Hear about how Warren Hudson, his stepmom, is a judge, and I think she came out with a statement, and she doubled down that Nolan, he chose to stay behind at the island.
Correct. And I guess it's just as that's why it gives me such leniency to discuss what I believe to be the case. If another judge who was his mother and certainly biased had the tenacity to issue a press release confirming her beliefs in what her son said, which is bias in and of itself. Not one time have I ever accepted as evidence or solid testimony when someone tells me, well, I went over it with my mother, and she can tell you. I got a letter from my mother. I got some evidence from my mother. Yeah, I know your mother. I got some evidence from my wife. Yeah, I know your wife gonna tell you what you want me. You're gonna tell me what your wife want me to tell you. Yeah, I know you do. But it's totally discounted because of the bias that is innate in their relationship. So, mother, you're a judge, you're a lawyer, whatever. The innate part of that is that they have a mother-son bond, and nothing penetrates that, not even the law. Some of us might have seen this series called Your Honor, where the sitting judge, his son killed someone accidentally, and that sitting judge harbored his son, protected his son, even breaking the law himself to do it. So certainly, just because his mother's a judge and sticks up for him doesn't make any difference than if she was a sister in the hood with 8 kids trying to make it on her own. Same difference. Mother-son bond. That's it. That's the only credibility I give to her letter. I think I should get a little more credibility. I don't know anybody in it.
Yeah, she got a lot of backlash. A lot of people was accusing her of using her position to defend her stepson. So, yeah, she got a lot of backlash. But it does make you think, do she know more than everybody else? I mean, I'm sure he giving her more information than we all know, so.
No, I just think it's a mother-son bond, and I wouldn't think that she would. Then again, the show I'm talking about, Your Honor, he was conspiring with his son to keep him out of trouble. So there's been, and we say sometimes, does art follow culture, or does art follow society, or does society follow art? So in the case of art, we had a show where a judge whose son committed murder, he conspired with his son to protect him from murder. Well, in real life, we have here a judge who has issued a statement on behalf of her son, who was being discussed regarding the disappearance of someone. And so, yeah, I can't speak too fast about what a judge would do with regard to conspiring to protect a criminal act of their child. Would I do it? Yeah, I guess we're really getting down to those issues of the heart, to be quite frank. Not issues of your profession, issues of the heart. Because I could think of a circumstance or two that I would defend my son had he been wrong. So that's why I give it no credibility. But go ahead.
Now, I've been a
That
trainer
doggone
for
Judge
13
Mathis.
years, and I train about 13
Now let's
to
get
15
into
drivers a year.
you know, he had to
Great
break the
company.
ice
It's a
real
company
quick.
that I feel.
Judge Mathis had to break the ice right quick. You know he had to break the ice right quick. Hold up, let's go. Nah, let's get to this right here. Let's get to this.
This officer, I hate mentioning his name, a former officer who is a far right wing, who's been doing the interviews and has been saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum. No.
What do you think of that, Ben or Elmore or Christine?
Yeah, we are happy with anybody who wants to share the objective to get into the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells.
You want unity, but you're not talking to nobody, and you just making up lies. Sometimes the greatest acts of heroism doesn't happen on the battlefield. They happen inside an ordinary home. That's what the film Our Crossroads is about.
Man, come
This is
on,
an
man.
inspiring true
God
story
dang,
set
bro.
in rural Ohio in 1969 about a
Dang, bro.
young couple
Y'all, can y'all
who
put
gets a
these in
life-changing
another
call
damn form or something?
and help bring more stories
Oh,
of
man, I
family
thought I passed
business.
it.
When you watch this video, you're going to see why I have criticisms. Roll the clip.
When you talk about all the things that have been spread, there is this officer, I hate mentioning his name, a former officer who is a far right wing, who's been doing the interviews and has been saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum. No.
Time out. Do you find kind of are interesting that Don Lemon said, I'm not going to mention his name? Fair enough. If you don't want to give a person publicity, if you don't believe they're legitimate, you won't say the person's name. He said, I'm not going to say his name is this officer, right? Then mom gets on, and you would think she would say, I'm not talking about that dude. He's irrelevant. He's not worth my time. I'm not talking about this guy you talking about either. Why would she say Brandon Tatum? She put my full name out there. And in my personal opinion, she wants people who hate me to come out and know who I am and search me and do all the other stuff, but refuse to address specific things that they're saying that I'm saying. And they have never addressed some of the things that the boys have said. You have not heard them address the phone thing. You have not addressed them because Warren said that he told Nolan's mother that he had the cell phone and the keys. They have not said that he lied about it. They won't even talk about it. It came up on Chris Cuomo. You guys will see that shortly. It came up on Chris Cuomo, and they pivoted. They didn't even address what Cuomo said. They just pivoted to something else. All right, continue.
I respect that, and that's the right answer for everybody. I believe, and I feel like because I mentioned him, like, why did I even mention him? Because he doesn't deserve a platform.
No, he does not.
So let's talk about the people. The young
The
men
parents
who
ain't
interviewed
even
him,
with
they're his best
Tatum.
friends. Some of you said that you don't know.
Man.
One of them even said, "Oh, Nolan would be outraged by the way his parents are handling this." And I'm like, "Wait, what? Like, why on earth would somebody go on and say that about a grieving family?" But go.
Again, distraction. We're not even going to address them or that man. We only want the truth. Again, at the end of the day, I'm going to say it like I've been saying it. The only question we have is what happened to Nolan. That's what we need to know. That's it. That's all.
When you talk about all this,
I'm talking about Mama. I got a question for you. With all due respect, why then, if you want to know what happened to Nolan, did your attorney not talk to me before I ever talked to the other side? All right, we passed that point. Why? How come when Nicole or Ashley reached out to you via text, which she showed me, which we posted online, that you didn't respond to Warren's mother to even talk to her and get any information that she may have? The boys already have been investigated by law enforcement. We will not know exactly what they said for a time period, which could be a long time. I don't know. They got to go to grand jury and everything. So we will never know what they said to the police unless you talk to them directly. Why, if you want to know what happened to your son, would you talk to the people that last seen him alive? You're saying they saw him alive last. They're reaching out to you and saying, we want to talk. Let's have a conversation. But instead, you guys refuse to talk to them, refuse to talk to me, and then get online and push stuff that you have to later redact because you could have talked to them first and cleared it up, talked to their attorneys and cleared it up. You could have gotten all the boys' statements that have been compiled before the police put it out in the public, so you can have a clear perspective before you go out in the public. But they did not do it. You know what they did? The first thing they did before they talked to any parent, any person involved, before they talked to anybody, they went and got Benjamin Crump. And they went and got Benjamin Crump, and what are they doing? The day that their son is put into the ground, they go get his estate, establish an estate, and then prepare to sue. Now, if you don't know what happened, and you have not made a determination, all you want to know is what happened, then why are you prepping to sue people? You're going to sue them for what? I'm not prepping to sue anybody. I'm not acting like I know exactly what happened to Nolan. I'm just taking the information that's presented to me and saying, this is what they're saying. They show evidence of this. What do the other people got to say? But y'all already talking about suing people, already getting the state in his name the day he's put in arrest on his funeral. Because you're already looking at suing people in a lawsuit, and when you don't even know yet what happened to your son. But what's really happening is they already made up in their mind that they're going to blame these white boys. And so
Let's get a W to everybody here. Hey, y'all, let's get to 40 likes. We at 21. Let's get to 40 real quick for me. Everybody double tap that screen. Donate to the platform. Hit the super chat. Hit the gifts. Let's light that bit up for me. Let's go. We're in here late night with it. Let's go.
Anybody saying anything to the contrary of what they're pursuing, they say, oh, I don't want to hear from this person. Oh, that person is illegitimate. Oh, my son wasn't friends with these boys. He wasn't friends with them? Maybe you just wasn't aware that he was friends with them, but according to social media and Instagram and photos, and him staying the night over their house, and him leaving his car at their house, and him going out to Horn Island with them, he's not their friend? Well, then, who is his friend? And why wasn't he hanging out with them and not these white boys when he's at home 3 or 4 days a week? They all just made this up. Hey, I'm not there. I wasn't there. All right, let him finish.
The father of one of the young men who's been speaking out has put up a $50,000 reward reportedly. What do you think of that, Ben or Elmore or Christine?
Yeah, we are happy with anybody who wants to share the objective to get into the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells. So we applaud it and we say, let's all work together to get answers, because we, as we've said continuously, Don Lemon, adamantly, somebody saw something, somebody knows something. I mean, and that's what you want, are answers.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that was true, then his dad put up a $50,000 thing. Why don't you talk to him? Why don't you ring them and give them a phone call? You're saying y'all all going for no. Why don't you call the man and talk to him and see what he know? Instead of putting out fake information about his child, saying that his child must have been involved, sharing his picture all over the internet with no information, then saying that he must have got into a fight when the coach, Nolan's coach, said that wasn't his voice on the thing. And you can't tell me that his parents don't know that little boat scuffle wasn't their son's voice. But yet they let Benjamin Crump put that on the internet to frame it as if these white boys must have done something to him.
Most people have no idea they can get ready to post content the minute they stop recording with Riverside. So I opened the Made For You tab and look.
You want unity, but you're not talking to nobody, and you just making up lies. If you talk to these boys, if they at least attempted to talk to these boys, they'll know who was on the boat. And instead of listening to a doctored phone call with a made-up transcript, they could go and talk to each boy and say, well, what did you say then? Is that you on a thing? Okay, what did you say? Is that you? Well, what did you actually say? Is that you? What did you say? Okay. They're saying that they said this. Oh, they told this to the police. then maybe we can chill a little bit on the accusations until we get more evidence. But that's not what they want. Let me just real quickly debunk a few things and let you guys know how I even got involved in this in the first place. And I'm going to demand an apology for some of these people who are out here lying on my name, including DL, some of these other fools, Benjamin Crump. They're all lying to you guys and being disingenuous about my position in this. First and foremost, let me show you guys evidence that I reached out to Benjamin Crump before I ever heard from Nicole, Warren, any of these people. I didn't even hear from them. I had no idea that they even wanted to talk to me. They messaged us, and I'll show you the email here in a second, but they messaged us on a communication thing. I forget what is it called? Contact form. We reached out to Benjamin Crump and them first. And they refused to talk to me. Let me show you the email. I think we got it pulled up right here. I'm going to read it to you. It says, Dear Media Relations Team, and this is directly at press@bencrump.com. And the reason we know this is his email because they responded to us after the 5th time, claiming that they didn't want to do any interviews, yet they went on Cuomo, and they also went on John Lemon just recently. But let me read you what we said, and you tell me, is this reasonable, fair, and that this should be reasonable for them to at least respond to us the first 4 times. All right, this is the first thing that we said. We said, Dear Media Relations Team, I hope that you're doing well. I'm reaching out on behalf of the Officer Tatum, and this is my show director reaching out to them. Reaching out on behalf of the Officer Tatum show to invite Benjamin Crump, or Attorney Ben Crump, to join Brandon for a discussion regarding the Nolan Wells case. The Officer Tatum show reaches millions of viewers each month across YouTube, podcast platforms, and social media, with a combined audience of more than 3 million subscribers and followers. Given the public interest surrounding this case, we believe our audience would benefit from hearing Mr. Crump's perspective directly. We believe our audience wants to hear from Benjamin Crump and his perspective, to give him the same opportunity, the same dignity to present to you guys just as well as I gave the boys that reached out to us. Let me continue. Officer Tatum values respectful conversations and welcomes dialogue with guests from a variety of backgrounds and viewpoints. He would appreciate the opportunity to give Mr. Crump a platform to speak directly to his audience and share his thoughts on the case. The interview would be conducted via video call, last approximately 30 minutes, and we are happy to work around Mr. Crump's schedule to accommodate his availability. Please let us know if there's any interest in coordinating an appearance. Thank you for your time and consideration. Grant put his stuff in there. They know it's coming from me. We have an official email where they can attach the domain to legitimacy on our show. So there's no Gmail or nothing like that. We have an official email. They responded to us, just so you know, on the 5th try and said they don't want to interview after they've seen 4 attempts. And that is proving, go back, let's put the date out there for people so they know that we are clearly telling you the truth. July the 16th at 9:30 a.m. Now let's go to the first time we got anything from Warren's stepmother. Let's go to that. So my executive assistant reached out or sent the message to Grant, my
double tap the screen if you're new to the channel, guys.
She said,
hit that sub button for me. Let's go.
I received this
Salute
last
everybody in
night
here,
via
guys.
our event forms, which is really not the form that a person
Y'all turn me
reach
up.
out to us on. They would reach out to us on a contact form, but this is the events form. It says, not sure if this is legitimate, but assume something we should follow up on. Please advise. So she sent the screenshot, which we redacted because we don't want anybody's personal information out there. It was a screenshot of the form and the contact information from Warren's stepmother. Then my executive assistant, who is incredible and absolutely brilliant, did her due diligence and said, from what I see online, she is indeed the stepmother of one of the boys involved in this case. And we put her name in there, that she's Ashley. My producer, show director, who's incredible at his job, said, calling her now. What time is this? This was sent to us at 9:33 a.m. on the 17th, which is nearly a full 24 hours. And then we see Grant here at 10:22 a.m. said, I'm going to call her. I'll call her now. Now let's go to the call log. This is Miss Cole.
To all my fellow truckers on the road, if you want to take your career to another level,
In our in Grant's phone, this is the phone call that occurred on 7/17/2026 at 10:23, which is a minute after he told my executive assistant that he would give her a call. The call lasted 8 minutes, as you can see. Now, how in the world are people out here saying that Officer Tatum only picked one side? Officer Tatum was just going out and looking out for the white man and looking out for the boys. I have never reached out to them to talk to them at all. I did reach out to Benjamin Crump. They ended up reaching out to me. That's why I accepted. I laid the foundation on how it started. Benjamin Crump never responded to me. They reached out to me. I said, okay, I'll give you guys an opportunity. Let's talk. Let's, and I had to vet them and make sure that they weren't sitting there lying to me and making up stories on my platform. And they had to vet me to make sure that I'm a legitimate podcaster, that I'm going to give the boys at least credence if they're on my show telling their story. We fly out there. We had no promise of an interview with none of the kids. The first day we got there, and I said this on TMZ, the first day we got there, we were invited to a dinner. We sat down at the dinner. There were a few boys, their parents, and I think one of the attorneys was there. And we sat down and had a dinner. They did not want to discuss details of the case with us at the dinner. We did, however, because one of the parents was zealous enough to say, look, man, just look at maybe 2 things that the person had, because they were eager to be like, they're lying about our kids. Look at this, they lying. And so we had maybe like a couple items like that occurred during the dinner. And during the dinner, and people try to act like these families are, one of the moms was crying because of what this had done to the community. Not only for her children, but for Nolan.
Salute to everybody in that bit.
They
man.
knew Nolan. They were friends with Nolan. She's crying.
Y'all get the lights up. Let's get the 40 lights, gang.
When this was Nolan's
Hit
friend.
the super chat and gifts for me. Why ain't got no gifts or super chat?
So that's how
What
the
we
dinner
doing?
went. Moving forward, we went to Horn Island. We got more information from the other boys that were accused initially. I didn't talk to every single person that's involved in this. I only talked to 4 boys. 5 boys, if you add Tristan. So the 4 boys they originally accused, we talked to them, had some conversations. We went to Horn Island. Some things were described. They didn't want to be on camera. They didn't want to give us a statement, and I was fine with that. And then when I say statement, meaning on camera. Then we went to the Airbnb that we had scheduled. We set up the thing. Eventually, they said, okay, Warren is going to give an interview. We said, all right, we already ready for him. Come give the interview. Warren was there. His lawyer was there. And then there was other people that was in Warren's team that was in another room separate from where we did the podcast. And I would argue they couldn't hear because it was way on the other side of the Airbnb. So with that being said, we did the interview with Warren. Before we started the interview, Tristan came over. I talked to Tristan and Warren before all that, and they were just talking. I don't know what happened, so I'm not interjecting anything. I'm just listening. And Tristan is saying a lot of incredible things that Warren was not privy to because Warren and Tristan weren't on the same boat. They didn't come in and they didn't leave together. However, they are friends that share a same community friend group. Let's move forward. We interview Warren. Interview is over. We come back and we were like, okay, none of the other boys want to come interview, which I would have liked for all of them to be there at the same time because they all got different pieces of the puzzle to put together because they were in different places at different times in part. Then we go, let's just interview Tristan while he's here. He's here. He seems like a very genuine young man. Let's just see what he has to say. I could not rehearse any of these things because I don't know none of what happened. I've only heard Benjamin Crump them side. So I'm asking basic questions. If you watch the interview, I'm just asking basic questions of them. Like, well, do you know how did you get the phone? Why was his phone left on the boat? I'm asking basic questions that a journalist would ask of them, and they gave me an answer. Now, I will say this. I verified nearly everything that they were telling me before I did the interview, because I was not going to go down to Mississippi and interview somebody that I haven't vetted that will sit on my podcast and tell a flat out lie. Let me just put this in perspective. I was not going to accept Warren or anybody to get on my podcast and say I didn't have nothing to do with anything. Blah, 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 blah. And then after the podcast, the investigation yield that they were primary suspects in killing Nolan Wells. You think I'm stupid enough to have somebody on there saying all that on my platform? I don't need the interview. I'm already doing my thing. I had already been talking about the case before talking to anybody, and my coverage is premier. So when they were talking to me and giving me information before the show and at Horn Island and stuff, they showing me. I say, well, where's do you got evidence of this stuff? Yeah, right here. This is when I called Nolan's mom. Here's when I called her twice. Here's when I called the Coast Guard. Here's us coordinating together to go search for and helping the search for Nolan the next day. Here's who came with me. Here's all of our testimony. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, wow. We went out to Horn Island on the boat. They said, this is where we docked from. They showed me video of everybody getting on that boat, which we shared. And then we get on a boat, we go out there. We went the same path that they went. We went to Horn Island. They told me exactly where they believed they were at and what was going on. They showed me video of them there and what was going on. Amateur photos or amateur video, which we shared on social media. So y'all have access to all of that, or at least most of what they had. Some things it had other people in it. We couldn't show it because they are not associated and they don't deserve to be doxxed. And then we didn't have their permission to share it. And then we go back and they explain the bilge pump and all that other stuff and what was happening and how they were sinking. And they were explaining all these boat terms that everybody that have ever ridden a boat or advocates of boat, you know exactly what they're talking about. But they were saying how it was taking on water and how it was water up to the batteries and all of this other stuff. And that they had to be towed out to get on plane, which means that once they get to a certain point, the water can begin to be dumped out. And as they keep going, it pulls the water out the back and all this other stuff that I have no idea because I never rid on a boat except that one time. So they're explaining all this and they're explaining where they got towed to and that they were here. And then once they got up to speed, they could go here. And then you could see on the GPS tracking and the light.
Salute everybody in there, bit, man.
At a slow speed. And then all of a sudden they pick up normal speed. And that's because they had fixed the issue and they ended up going where they needed to go. They showed me where they
Hey, y'all give me the 40 likes, gang.
And have a party.
I see y'all talking shit in the chat. Let's go. Turn that bit up.
All of these different
hit the gills. Hit the super chat. Turn that bit up.
Then we go do an interview. And there was nothing in the interview, I think, that caught me by surprise because they had to show evidence to a lot of the things that they were being accused of. Lawyer was sitting right there in the room.
I read y'all comments.
People don't understand that.
I just try not to talk over the video game no more.
I've said enough.
Go ahead. I just try not to talk over the video game. That's all. I'm seeing y'all comment, man. I'm reading everything. I be reading all y'all comments. I be sitting back just reading y'all comments. I'm reading everything. Don't ever think I ain't reading y'all comments. I'm sitting back reading. I just don't read them. I'm trying to start reading them out loud. Yeah, I'm trying to start reading them out loud, gang. Because a lot of people say, don't talk on the video, let the video play. Alright, damn. Alright. But do y'all think Nolan Wells was unalive, gang? Let me know in the chat, man. Was he unalive? What happened? Was he unalive? We got another video to get into. He done. Was he unalive? I don't know, gang. Let's get into this other video right quick. Let's get into the other video right quick, man. Hold on right quick. Yeah, my other... Yeah, we're finna get to the other video right quick, man. Man, I'm about to get rid of it. Oh man.
Nolan Will's family is the victim. They're the ones who are being talked bad about while their son is dead. So you would think that they'd put the same energy into finding out who's bothering the Wells family, just like they're doing with the Cole with Ashley Cole. Smash that like button, gang. Let's get into this a little bit.
Washed ashore 2 days later would find herself under a large amount of ridicule after she would release a statement on her Facebook account. In her statement, she would mainly go on to defend her stepson against accusations that he may be behind Wells's passing. She would go on to write, "My husband and I were not at Horn Island at any point on 4th of July. No one in our family is trying in any way to impede with the investigation by law enforcement or to otherwise hamper the family and law enforcement's quest for answers." Warren was interviewed by the Jackson County Sheriff's Department and cooperated fully. He saw Nolan last around 3 p.m. on July 4th. They left around 4:30 p.m. when the boat was taking on water, and they had an issue.
I'm confused by that story, guy. I think we all want to know if Warren seen Nolan at 3 p.m. Then I thought they said when they were getting ready to leave, when they found out the boat was taking water, they were telling Nolan to come on. Were they telling Nolan to come on at 3 o'clock? But really, they didn't leave at 4:30. Like, make that shit make sense. That don't make sense. They last seen Nolan at 3 o'clock, but yet and still, right before they left, they were telling Nolan, "Come on, Nolan." I thought that was like 4 o'clock, 4:30, 4:31. At least by 4 o'clock, 4:30. So when did they last see Nolan? Was it 3 o'clock or was it 4 o'clock? I'm so goddamn, I'm confused, man. Salute to everybody in the building. I'm confused like a motherfucker, man. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody. J. Coop, what's good, J. Coop? Salute to everybody in the building, gang.
With the bilge pump.
Another J. Coop,
Nolan made a decision to stay on the island and return inland later with another group of friends. Yes, I am a judge. I also value transparency. Yes, I am a judge. I also value transparency.
Turn up, gang.
I apologize if
Turn up.
anyone was offended that I deleted my social media. There were no nefarious motivations in my deleting my social media. Social media has a lot of positives, but a whole lot of negatives. Now, 3 days after the statement, Cole would return back to her Facebook to show followers and those interested that she and her family have received a wave of negative messages and threats.
Let me see. What does it say here? There will be a package coming to your guys' office in the next few days. It's gonna blow you away when you see it. LOL. Probably best to have the boys there to see as well. Okay, he's trying to say we're gonna send a package to you, though, and make sure you gather White and Warren and yeah. Even get Trace and bitch ass over there. And won't you open up this package around all of them? You know what I mean? It's gonna blow your motherfucking mind when you see what's in there. It said blood, so much blood everywhere, hard to clean, especially from a boat. but yours will be quick, I promise. I got all of you. I something Shana that said I got all of you info. Okay, now even the FBI can stop this. Once that package is open, the timer will start. This nigga on some motherfucking, there's some Batman villain shit. That nigga on some evil. And he said once the package open, the timer will start.
Crazy
Oh
work.
yeah, the judge over there
That's
scared to the
crazy work.
motherfucker. And he said once that motherfucker, once
Yeah,
you
that's
crack
crazy
this bitch,
work.
man, the timer then starts. You know what I mean? It's over with. It's over. It is over with. Now, and make sure you got the boys there, too. I want them to see this. I want them to feel this. Oh, man, that's crazy. You ain't smash that like button. Salute to everybody. But arrest has been made, I think a Sacramento man, for sending death threats or sending bomb threats to Ashley Cole and her family. Smash that like button, gang, to Warren and his family.
A part of the post, she began to share several messages from an anonymous user, Yay962. She would go on to comment with things like, there's going to be a bomb sent to your office. I'm going to get you when you leave work.
Ooh,
followed by, I got your email, your phone number, your address. What's stopping? The user would even go on to message her directly and continued. There will be a package coming to your guy's office in the next few days. It's going to blow you away when you see it. LOL. Probably be best to have the boys there to see as well. Hard to clean, especially from a boat. Not even the FBI can stop this. Fast forward to today, it appears that the FBI would stop the user and would end up tracking down Joseph Dumars in Sacramento, California.
That shit was fast, gang. They don't play no games, man. That shit was fast. That was fast. They called it that. The FBI jumped right on top of this shit, man. Man, think about if they was working Nolan case like this, man. You know what I mean? Bring us some answers this goddamn fast, man. Now, I know this is different. He's sending threats and shit. Dumbass probably didn't cover his IP address. You know what I mean? Dumbass. They done found him. Showed right up to his door, man. Get your motherfucking ass out. They probably handled him rough, too, man. I bet they handled that boy rough. Sending bomb threats to a judge. They probably showed up deep. SWAT team, 30 to his. I bet they showed up deep, nigga. 30 SWAT team members pulled up at his door, jumping out on the roof and shit, behind the house, front of the house. Man. Yeah. Damn, he learned the hard way, man. But like I said, I wish it's funny because Nolan Wells' mom and dad, Nolan Wells' family is getting threats and all kind of shit, racist shit going on. But we ain't seen none of them people being brought forth to justice. We ain't seen nobody brought forward. We ain't seen nobody who's making them negative comments on her work review. None of that shit. None of these people being brought to justice or being brought out front. Just show us who they are. Put their ass on blast. Get them fired from their job and do some sick shit like this while two parents are grieving. But yet and still, when Ashley Cole gets a threat, you know, this threat was crazy. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is a crazy threat. They jumped right on it. But then again, like I said, she's a judge and things. You know. Come on, gang. You know damn well you threaten a judge, man. A prosecutor, a judge, man. Your ass is They hunting you down, man. They hunting you.
According to the Sun Herald, agents with the FBI Safety Task Force identified Dumars, who used the username Yay962, by tracing email IP addresses associated with the account, including moneybagIOJO1916@gmail.com, along with the date of birth, phone number, and street addresses linked to the account. Investigators said the information resulted in the identity of Dumars as user behind the Yeah962 account that sent the messages to Cole. Now, part of Dumars' indictment would read, on or about July 11, 2026, in Jackson County, in the Southern Division of the Southern District of Mississippi, and elsewhere, the defendant Joseph Alfredo Vasquez Dumars did knowingly and willfully transmit in interstate and foreign commerce a communication containing a threat to injure the person of another, to wit, a direct message on Facebook threatening to kill.
What was Vasquez doing involved in this shit? You a fucking Mexican, man. What are you doing in this shit, man? This black and white folks business here, man. You know what I mean? The usual suspects, black people, white people, black people versus white people versus black people. What was your Mexican ass doing in this, man? So area, rest in peace of Nolan Wells. I know everybody feels some kind of way about this shit for real. But yeah, Mexicans, yeah. You jumped out of your lane, fam. Brought your dumb ass over here and got shit looking crazy now, man. Now it looked like you were trying to kill the judge and all kind of goofy ass shit. Yeah, I'm sure you just bullshitting around, but it say you way out of bounds, man. You out of bounds for this, man. It is. Why didn't no niggas do this? Yeah. Why didn't no niggas do this, man? But shout out to the Mexican for putting his freedom on the line. Yes, for us niggas, man. Shout out to the SA for putting his freedom on the line to threaten this goddamn judge. Now, I'm not saying what he did was right or none of that shit. I'm not condoning nothing. I'm not condoning nothing. I don't want them taking my channel and saying, "Oh, stole your." I'm not I'm not saying nothing, man. He did it. But at the same time, man, I'm surprised the brother didn't do this shit, man. I'm surprised the Black Panther didn't do this shit. Shorty Doo-Wop said, Sko, we ain't stupid like this. Shorty Doo-Wop. Shorty Doo-Wop said, Sko, niggas ain't this goddamn dumb, Sko. Niggas ain't this stupid. The Mexicans got it. That show you right there. Y'all got a little easier than us. Y'all here playing games and shit. Niggas ain't that damn dumb to do no shit like this. Smash that like button, gang. Yeah, shout to Shorty Doo-Wop, man. He says, Sko, niggas ain't this damn stupid. Niggas ain't this dumb. Hell no.
Ashley Cole, all in violations of Title 18, United States Code, Section 875. Now, according to those same documents, Dumarsh now faces up to 5 years in prison, a fine up to $250,000, and up to 3 years of supervision upon release for the federal charge of interstate transmission of a threatening communication. Now, in relation to Dumarsh seemingly being the first arrest connected to this case, we have to note that this arrest now takes place as many are demanding that an arrest actually be made directly connected to the suspicious death of Wells. Several days ago, following the release of the audio from the CTO emergency call that his friends would make that day, appeared to capture what some felt was incriminating. The audio itself is now being investigated by Wells' team and family.
And at this point, we are watching a whole community cover up what really happened to Nolan Wells.
Let's go.
From the captain to the grandpa to the little boy, the dispatch lady, you heard all that shit going on in the background. Yes, you was kind of concerned or whatever because you like something really going on because you heard what the people saying in the background. So that had you on high alert. So you was trying to figure out, let me get somebody out here. But at the same time, the man, how you get the granddaddy phone number, how you knew his number, how he knew to call you personally, but you don't know if he's one of y'all clients or not. Y'all was trying to do that shit under the rug. The little boy panicked and called the real people who he needed to call. That's how he got the dispatch lady on the phone. Now you want to talk to the grandson under the covers. Lock all they ass up, from the granddaddy, the kids, them hoes that was on that damn boat, because they had girls on the boat too. We ain't know that. Lock all they ass, the whole damn community.
She said lock them up. Lock them up.
The theory is that we don't
Lock
care about what
them
happened
up.
to Nolan because he was drinking or on cocaine. Then what needs to happen
I'm telling what they
is every
saying.
adult on that island that was there, including the
I
ones
don't
who
feel
were
like this is what
driving
they
the
saying,
boats
gang.
and tugging and this, that, and the third and all this other stuff, needs to be arrested for the contributing of the delinquency of a minor. And I'm sure that there were kids who were under the age of 18 who were on that island who probably was also participating. So since we're gonna make it seem like Nolan is the only one doing illegal activities, since the headlines want to come out, arrest every fucking body who was on the island doing the fucking drugs.
Now, as reported here, one of his friends accused, Park Edmiston, who's
Everybody going off, boy.
on the emergency call.
People are really going off about this Nolan Wells
To
case.
push back against any claims.
Crazy word. Hey, look at the 50 likes, gang. What we doing?
Edmiston's attorney
I ain't got no super chats or gifts, and we've been here almost 2 hours. Y'all ain't showing no support to the side. Dang, that messed up, gang.
inaccurate transcript.
That messed up, gang.
Enhanced audio of the
Yeah, that messed up. I'm in here late night, and I gotta get up and go to
purports
work.
to have a background conversation that
Late night with
is suggested
chilling.
sounds like people explaining the murder of Nolan.
You ain't gotta do me like that.
Is in there, and I
this, gang, because this is very important, man. Because, they're letting a lot of different people hear the tape now, the audio, right? The audio is everybody smoking gun right now. As of right now, the only real evidence people believe that's out there is the audio where people feel like they can hear Nolan's name. And where I for sure feel like I hear Nolan. I hear Dead. I hear Bart. I hear a couple, it's some things I hear in that audio. Can't make out everything for sure at all. But, they got certain, this guy right here is supposed to be like some kind of audio analyst, some kind of forensic analyst guy. And he's saying he listened to it, which we heard him the other day, and he's saying that he don't hear shit like that. He don't hear nothing. What the fuck are y'all talking about? He's saying due to the fact that all the videos that came out with the audio, that they had words attached to it telling you what the fuck it was saying. That's what's really mind-fucking everybody. That ain't what the fuck you hear. Close your eyes and hear some good. Just go listen to some more scramblish audio, and I bet you can't make out shit. But when people tell you what you're hearing, that's why you believe you're hearing that shit. Smash that like button, gang. This is what the audio forensic analyst is saying.
I know real people with real platforms are pointing the finger at your client.
Smash that like button.
Yeah, so we don't see any legitimacy in a doctored transcript or a doctored audio that comes with a transcript, which is a nice.
My bad. This is Bart's attorney right here. My bad. This ain't the analyst guy. This is Bart's attorney. My bad. This ain't the analyst guy right here. This is Bart's attorney. They did speak to an audio analyst guy, but this is Bart's attorney. I want to say right here.
Psychological sort of game that people play with garbled audio. So yeah, people are just fabricating things wildly, And the consequence of that is that you've got people who are in legitimate fear for their lives. Our viewpoint is not, we can't stop the entire internet. All of them saw what did and didn't happen. There were 2 credible witnesses at least that saw Nolan Wells on Horn Island an hour and a half after those 2 boats left.
Now, as far as Warren Hudson and his family, his father, who is the husband of Ashley Cole, would announce that he is now putting up a $50,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest and conviction of anyone that could be responsible with the death.
How do y'all feel about that, y'all? Ashley Cole's husband, Warren's dad, he got $50,000 on the game. Now he did announce, or they said that, but he's trying to sue Ben Crump for life, saying for putting these murder allegations on his son, these untrue, false allegations on his son. He said he's suing Ben Crump, but at the same time, he came out and dropped a 50 piece. They say, for another reward for anybody who has any information about Nolan Wells. Now, we know it's already a $125,000 reward put up. I don't think his goes with that and be separate. So why would somebody? I guess somebody could get both of them. So I guess as of right now, gang, it's $175,000 on the goddamn table for anybody who knows any information that could lead to an arrest in the case of Nolan Wells. Yeah. It's 175,000 rats, nigga. Trust me, gang. If I knew, I'm ratting. I'm down there, fam. I'm finna change my life, nigga. I need that paper right now, fam. I don't give a damn what nobody talking about. If I knew, fam, I'm down there. Nigga, I'll be down for free, nigga.
But
If I
that
got
nigga's
to
so
kill that goddamn best brother, man.
Get it like something,
Yeah,
gang.
man,
That
but
nigga
it's
Scope fool, man.
anybody
Shout out to
think
Scope,
somebody gonna
man.
come forward and get that money, man?
For
Is
real.
anybody that was on Horn Island that witnessed what happened? Because we hearing rumors now that maybe Nolan got into a fight, man. Maybe Nolan was full of that goddamn Walter White. Yeah. Maybe he was full of that goddamn girl. And he got the, somebody him got to getting into it, man. He got into a fight with somebody, a fist fight. Maybe he got into a fight in the water. People are saying now that maybe something happened on Horn Island. And of course, it's around the time the boys were already gone. It's going to be about 6 o'clock, 5:30. The boys been gone for over an hour and a half. And that's when allegedly something happened. But we're hearing a lot of stories, man. So with all these stories we're hearing, because we heard Officer Tatum saying something about him being in the water with a girl. They was getting physical. They were struggling in the water. Okay, but where are those witnesses? Bring them forward. Where are the people who said a fight broke out? It was a woman saying something about a fight. Okay, bring her forward. People saying we know for a fact he was on cocaine, running around with a cocaine deal. Okay, where are those people at? Did they see him after? Like, where are all these goddamn people, man? And people that say, well, Scope, it's the part of an investigation. Ocean Springs police are not going to tell you about this, man. It's a part of the investigation, man. They can't release this kind of information. The DA's office already told you, motherfuckers, ain't nothing else coming out, Scope. Quit asking these dumbass questions, man. If there are witnesses, Scope, how will we know? You know what I mean? We're hearing about them, but of course they're not going to put that out there. But I'm starting to wonder, are there any witnesses really? You know what I mean? Why did it take them so long to come out? In Warren's first interview with Tatum, the one he did, he didn't say anything about, man, some witnesses came out and said that, some people came out and said that they saw a Nolan on the island, man. It's a bunch of people that seen him. You know what I mean? It's several big stuff. Some about some cocaine. Like, we didn't hear none of that shit in the interview. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody that been, y'all. The autopsy is on the way, gang. The phone evidence is on the way, gang. It's almost that goddamn time, y'all. Stop bullshitting, man. Get your finger out your ass and get back. Pay attention, gang. So some of y'all slipping in this chat. Some of the shit y'all be typing up like, what the hell have you been watching?
Nolan Wells. It was announced on Thursday that state officials in Mississippi have also...
Okay, all right, my bad, gang. 1 second. Yeah, my chat ain't let me get away with that.
Finally completed Wells' first autopsy, conducted on July 7th, but it will remain private in preparation for the district attorney to present evidence to a grand jury. Wells' family and family attorney Benjamin Crump has also yet to see those results. Let's talk about it more in the comments below. How do you feel about this recent
Hey, y'all, like up the screen for me, gang. It's 7, and it
Man, this dude,
hit the like button, hit that sub button if you're new.
Yeah, he put it all out on the line, man. Smash that like button, gang.
Turn that bit up.
Everybody rock with me tonight, gang.
Turn that bit up.
Turn me up, gang.
It's late night. It's late night,
turn me up
too.
tonight, man. Where my cash at, gang? Yeah, y'all turn me up tonight, gang. It's Friday night. We in this shit, though. Gang. It's Friday night, and we in here, gang. So this is the guy that got arrested for sending the bomb threat to the judge. His ass, you going to the penitentiary.
I thought we just watched it.
You going to the pen. You know what I mean? So if they don't lock nobody up for the Nolan Wells situation, it's going to be one nigga we know that did go to jail. It's going to be your dumb ass. Yeah, it's one nigga. It's only one person.
Hey, appreciate that gift,
in the
Lala.
case of Nolan Wells,
Appreciate that gift, gang.
So yeah, come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing, gang? Smash that like button, gang. Let me see. But they say the autopsy is done, gang. They say the autopsy is done, and we all waiting. They say the autopsy is done, and everybody is waiting, man. I'm talking about, man, this shit. I'm nervous, gang.
The autopsy and the death investigation of 18-year-old Nolan Wells is complete, but the findings will not be made public yet. The autopsy was conducted by the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office. It's now going to be presented to a grand jury. Meanwhile, Civil Rights Attorney Ben Crump joined the parents of Nolan Wells
what that mean, though,
at the National
gang?
Urban League Conference in
What that
Nashville.
mean,
They're
gang?
demanding answers about Wells' death during that July 4th voting trip.
What that mean, gang?
Is complete, but the findings will not be made public yet. The autopsy was conducted by the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office. It's now going to be presented to a grand jury. Meanwhile, Civil Rights Attorney Ben Crump joined the parents of Nolan Wells Thursday at the National Urban League Conference in Nashville. They are demanding answers about Wells' death during that July 4th voting trip off the Gulf Coast, where Wells traveled with friends to Horn Island but did not return with the group. His body was found 2 days later. Wells' parents say conflicting accounts and missing details have deepened their concerns.
Just know we will not be distracted.
W Florida in that bit. W Florida. W everybody in that bit. W everybody in that bit, man. For real, for real.
He is not here to speak for himself. He is not here to tell us what happened. So again, we will not rest until we get answers.
Crump is calling on state leaders to provide
Salute to Go Deep Love, man.
the evidence collected in the case for the family.
Answers.
Salute to Go Deep Love, man. Go Deep Love said, she said, so only 2 people out of all them folks out there said they saw Nolan after 5, and neither one of them was Katie. They think we green. So you got me fucked up, nigga. They think we green. Katie most definitely put photos out yesterday, gang. Katie put photos out, man, showing that she was on Horn Island at 5:50, 5:30, 6 o'clock. But she put photos out showing that, you know, she was not around Nolan Wells. Now, them photos don't really mean shit to me. I mean, we don't know if Nolan was around. We don't know if he just went in the goddamn, you know what I mean? We don't know if you seen Nolan. I don't know about Katie, man. I don't know about nobody, gang. It's like, I don't trust nobody in the story as of right now, like far as what's really going on. I mean, I'm being honest, gang. Some of y'all can say, well, Katie is cool with the mom. And, well, you know what I mean? Them boys was allegedly cool with goddamn, well, with Nolan. I mean, shit, I don't hear shit about nobody being cool and all this shit. I don't know what's going on right now. If Katie has been talking to the police, which, I mean, if she has, she has. I don't think she'd be putting those photos and shit out, though. I mean, you fuck up the investigation, baby. You don't need to be online doing all that. You've already cooperated with the police. So, I mean, Warren said in his interview that Katie was sending messages to one of his partners saying, yeah, last time she seen Nolan was when they were begging for him to get on the boat. But Katie never said, as far as Warren never told us if Katie actually saw him get on the boat. Katie has never told us that she actually saw Nolan. Katie never told us that she saw Nolan actually getting on the boat. We haven't heard Katie come out yet and say, yes, he was on the boat. She putting photos and shit out. But we haven't heard her come out and say, yes, I actually saw him get on the boat. From what we hear is that Katie said the last time I talked to him, he said he was going to get on the boat with his friend. But I want to know that Katie actually see him get onto the boat. Smash that like button, gang. Salute to everybody. Now let's go here, gang. Let me see. Let's go here. Let's go here, gang. Compton Bomb said, don't forget about Shady Katie. Shout out my nigga Compton Bomb. He said, y'all don't forgot that fast, man. Y'all don't forgot about Shady Katie that fast, man. Salute, gang. Let me see. 757 Nunu. Shout out to 757 Nunu. Salute to Nunu. Yeah, Nunu. I see you, Nunu. I see. I know what it means. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, 757 Nunu.
Salute my boy Florida, man. Salute Florida.
Smash that like button.
Salute to everybody, man. We got Lala, PP Hunt, everybody, man. Everybody in the big comment.
Until we find out what's
Salute
going on.
everybody with the big comment.
You know what I mean? Salute to everybody in the gang. You gotta go here, gang. Because of course today, Don.
Salute everybody that comment and chilling, man.
Whatever they call themselves,
for real.
Man. Don Lemon talk themselves.
Salute, man.
He went live with Ben Crump and the family today. Nolan Wells' mom, Nolan Wells' dad, and I like when Don Lemon interview people because he do keep it 100, man. He gets straight to the questions that everybody won't answer, man. So I did not watch this. I want to watch this with y'all right now. I want to watch this with the gang, man. Shout out to H-Town Store, man. This whole shit is crazy, but I'm proud of you, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah. Salute, fan. You been doing it. Big gang. Shout out to H-Town Store. We know you been gang. You gotta start talking. Yeah, nigga done went up there. You crying and shit. I'm proud, my nigga. I've been around. Man, we know you been rocking, my nigga. We know you been here, bro. You been here. Man, said like, but man, salute to my nigga H-Town Store, man. Nah, salute, fam. You know what I mean? Appreciate that, bro. Salute to my nigga H-Town Store, man. Salute, gang. Let's hear from the family. Like I said, Don Lemon usually will ask the questions that we, you know what I mean, that we won't answer. So let's hear from Don Lemon, man, and let's see what we have to say to Ben. The questions you have a Ben Crump in the family.
Their journey along the way with the family, with Christine
Man,
and with Elmore Wansley, Nolan Wells' parents. Ben, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Let's talk about the break. Hello to the family and to you, and thank you for being here. Let's talk about the breaking news. The autopsy from Mississippi is in. And so what does that mean? When do you find out? Have you heard anything from them?
We were made aware that the autopsy was complete, and because media started calling us, and I know the district attorney's office, they have reached out to the family, but we did not get a chance to talk to them before the news told us the autopsy was complete. We are scheduled to have a meeting with the district attorney's office next week. Whether that means...
Well, Mike, I haven't showed this yet, Scott. Mike, I haven't even watched it yet. Yeah, this was something previous. I have no idea what you're talking about yet. But no, I have not seen this yet at all. And some things we might show twice just to, update everybody. Not everybody's in here all the time. Smash that like, but man, shout out to Scoet Meyer, man. One more outburst like that, Scoet Meyer. I'm putting your ass in time out though. One more outburst like that. Smash the like button. Shout out to the real Stephanie G for that cash app too, gang. Salute, gang. Salute to the real Stephanie G for that cash app. I see you, gang. I see you, gang. Salute to everybody in the building, gang.
They're going to reveal the autopsy results is unknown to us, but we're certainly going to inquire because, we have been begging for transparency the whole way, and we tried to be very transparent with them, and we hope that they will be transparent with us, especially his family.
Yeah. So Ben, can they not release information to you? Because I know that, to explain the process, because it goes to a grand jury. Now, do you know if they're going to be transparent with you or you don't, and how much you think they can?
There we go, Donna. Let me see. Shout out to Donna, man. Salute to Donna, man. Donna, we going hard over Donna. Salute to Donna. Smash that like button, man. Let me see. Hold on. The Donna Lemon asking all the right questions.
Yeah. So Ben, can they
Hey, appreciate that membership, will you?
Because I know that, to explain the process, because
Appreciate
it goes
that
to a grand
membership.
jury.
Yeah, hey, if y'all get the memberships right now, you get the free trial, gang. So everybody get your memberships over there, bit. It's a free trial. You ain't even got to pay for it. You get a free trial, gang. So like that membership up over there, bit. It's savage. We be talking about and listening to all and looking at all type of stuff over here, man. Subscribe, like, come a member, man.
To release information as they so deem
Salute to William,
to
man.
release it. Don Lemon, they could be transparent or they can say, well, we're not going to release anything until the grand jury. And then that means we don't know when we're going to see it because nobody knows when they're going to conclude their report. And George Floyd and Breonna Taylor cases like that where you had governmental authorities trying to be transparent, they would release information to try to build public trust. What are they going to do in Mississippi? We do not know.
So he's saying that, they could hold on to all the information, like they say. It's going to be presented to a grand jury. So he's saying they don't have to give us nothing. We might have to find out through the grand jury. They could hold on to everything. They could tell me, go fuck yourself, Ben Crump, you goofy motherfucker. We don't fuck with you, nigga. Look how you been shitting on us, man. Ben Crump been in Mississippi acting a damn fool. He got about 3-4 cases right now in Mississippi. So I bet they hate this motherfucker. Trust me, they don't like this nigga at all. Yeah, they don't like this nigga at all. So yeah, who knows, man? They might, you know what I mean? They might just say, nah, we're gonna hold out. We ain't giving you shit to give to the public. We're not giving you shit to feed to Instagram or to feed to nobody. Social media, you'll find out through a grand jury, you son of a bitch. We don't know. Smash that like, but yeah, well, we don't know. Shout to Ben Crump, man. Ben Crump gotta go
Man,
deal with
come
these
on,
folks. So
man.
he used to dealing with
Man,
this, man. He
Scooby, man,
deals with shit
food
like this.
game.
If they're going to
Man,
release
that
it,
is a
they may
food
say,
game.
we're not going to release anything at all until the grand jury, and the grand jury might convene. You just never know.
You said the grand jury might convene. You cut out for a second, Ben.
They can convene anytime the district attorney's office says that we've completed our investigation. It's all up to them. It could be next week. It could be 2 or 3 months. We have no control over when the grand jury is convened and when the district attorney decides to release information.
Why did it take Mississippi so long to present these results? And do you know why they've been so quiet?
I don't want to speculate. I know oftentimes they would offer that they're waiting for a toxicology report. So why it took as long as it did, but we hope that they will be transparent with us, because as Dr. Mitchell, who conducted the independent autopsy at the behest of the family, Don Lemon, articulated, he shared that he would not be able to tell if the airways were obstructed, if the lungs were filled with water, because by the time he got Nolan's body, the organs had already been dissected. And so he had been on the observations of the state medical examiner, who would have gotten Nolan's.
See, he never said the lungs were missing. At one point he said the body had been the body had decomposed too bad, and he's saying that I guess everything had already been dissected. They already, you know what I mean? So he's not saying the lungs were missing, though. I don't think the lungs were missing. I'm not, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things in this case we hear, we don't hear, we're not for
Double
sure.
tap that screen, gang. Let's get the sister light. Let's go. Turn the video
I
up.
mean, we really don't make things too clear for us sometimes. Let's be honest, gang. Let's not bullshit tonight, man. This ain't no time for no bullshit. Friday night, nigga. I'm over getting blowed. Yeah, I ain't got time to be fucking around with y'all tonight. Sometimes Ben Crump confuses me a little bit with the shit he be saying. Smash that light, but man, salute to my guy Ben Crump, man. Salute to my guy Ben Crump. But you know what I mean? Yeah, Ben Crump is saying that, you know, his team could not do a proper autopsy because, you know, the body was, you know, was already, you know, they had already done so much to it. He said the lungs and the organs had already been dissected, and, you know, the throat was missing and this and that. So, you know, yeah, I mean, yeah, and now it makes me want to do my research on like second autopsies. Like once the medical examiner does an autopsy on a body, what's left of it? Like, how do you do a second one? If they've already cut the body up, did this, did that, opened them up, did this, did that, what's left when you do the second autopsy? Like, what condition or what shape is the body supposed to be in? Smash that like button, gang. Yeah. It sounds like an autopsy, a second one is always going to be difficult. Smash that like button and salute to everybody in the building, gang. It really would have been better if they could have did theirs first. I don't know. I mean, it probably don't work like that. The law probably don't work like that. Smash that like button, gang.
Body immediately once they recovered it.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask you, so that's the only way
that
you're going to know if the independent autopsy and the state autopsy, if they indeed match up with each other. So 2 questions. That's the only way you're going to know. So one would think that they'd have to be transparent, or at least they'd want to, so that you can combine the two, because they want to get to the bottom of it. If there's some discrepancy with one or the other, that can be really, you know, beneficial to finding out what happened to Nolan. And so what happens if the results in Mississippi don't align with the evidence shown so far? That's a big deal.
Yeah, and oftentimes, Don, you do find that you have differences in autopsies. I know I've had several cases where the state medical examiner concludes one thing and an independent medical examiner concludes another. And then you have to put it before a grand jury and they decide. Or even more profound, the matter then goes to an actual trial jury trial in whether it's criminal proceeding or not, or civil proceeding. And so it really is about what you said, trying to be transparent with one another and seeing if we can figure out why you get these conclusions. And remember this, Don, autopsy is not the end all. There's still other factors that are important as well. Remember, Dr. Roger Mitchell said, even if the conclusion is he died from a drowning, then the questions become, what was the condition of his body before he entered the water? Was he conscious or was he unconscious? Was he forced into the water or was he not forced into the water? So all of these...
How would they be able to tell if he was forced into the water? Is it like, break it down to me, gang. I know his ways. You know what I mean? How would they be able to find out if he was forced into the water? Was it like a certain way he was breathing? Because they don't have the throat. It's a lot of things they don't have. The lungs, they say, are already messed up. How would they be able to do it? Well, okay, let's not talk about Crump's autopsy. Let's go back to the first one. How would they be able to tell in the first autopsy, if somebody held him underwater? Somebody said bruising. I could hold somebody underwater without bruising them, I think. I think I could put a nigga in a bear hug and hook, especially if it's more than one person. I think we could hold you underwater without bruising you. Yeah, I don't think you have to bruise somebody just to hold them down in a certain position. It's kind of like tackling a nigga but keeping your head above water. You don't really have to bruise them up. Will they be able to tell if Nolan Wells was held underwater? If somebody was, holding his head? They say it's red discoloration in the back of his head. My boy Judge Mathis, shout out to the OG. I gotta check in with him later on. Gotta check in with the OG later on down the line.
Salute to everybody in here, man.
Mathis said he feel like somebody held the boy in the back of his goddamn neck. He said from what he could see, the things he's seen, it looked like somebody held him had him in the back of his motherfucking neck, holding his head underwater. That's what Judge Mathis said. He said it looked physical from what sounded like bruising in the back of his head. It sounds physical. Y'all smash that like button, gang. Talk to me, gang. I'm reading the chat, gang. I'm reading the chat, gang. I'm reading the chat, man. Let me see. Internal soft tissues can show bruising that's not on the surface. Yeah, that's true. Because they said they want to. That's what happened with the throat. They want to see if the tissue had any bruising on it. So, man, yeah, you know what I mean? It's a lot of different ways this thing can play out, man. Yeah, y'all see that? Yeah, eternally. There we go. So, man, yeah, okay, y'all cooking in there. Salute to everybody building, gang. Salute, gang. Shout out to everybody watching, gang. Salute, man. Salute to everybody, gang. Turn me up. Don't turn me down.
These become very important variables as you look at it. And I'm saying this, and I'm here with Christine and Elmore as we go to Cincinnati, Ohio, to speak to a lot of young people, high school students and so forth at the Omega Conclave Convention. I'm sensitive. We're talking about autopsy, and I know this gets a little emotional.
Well, that's what I want to ask Miss Christine, who's there.
Family, he's on a road trip. They're on the road right now. They're going to do a speech. They're going to talk to a college and shit like that. They on the road going around doing they like doing like what you like, so I guess like just like giving speeches, or you know what I mean, kind of just kind of just going places and I guess just talking to kids about safety, or you know what I mean, or just kind of what to do if you're alone, not to hang around a bunch of goddamn white kids. I bet they going to an HBCU. I bet they going to an all goddamn black college. Smash that motherfucking like button, man. Smash that like button, man. Yeah, Crump got them going around right now. They're going around doing different speeches and shit like that, different places now. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody, bit of y'all. The Nolan Wells Foundation for show, they saying too, is on the way. Smash that like button.
Oh, there, Elmore, there as well. Miss Christine, thank you so much.
I'm going to hand the phone to Christine.
Okay. I know that it's difficult for you to listen to this, and I was keenly aware that you're in the background and you're having to deal with this. I wrote something this morning in my newsletter, and I said that, you have been wanting transparency around this. First of all, good morning. Thank you for joining us. But you have been wanting transparency around this. But hearing the actual words and the results or whatever, that is extremely difficult. You want transparency, but then to be able to hear it is heart-wrenching. It's really a double-edged sword.
It is. And honestly, it's one of those things when we're sitting in it, because we have not been able to fully grieve, right? So there's a bit of this.
They in a sprinter bus, y'all. If I said a tour bus, my bad. Sprinter bus. They in a sprinter bus going around right now. They speaking at different events. They pulling up. You know, I'm sure they talking to young college kids. Their son was a college student, so I'm sure them going to a colleges makes sense. Going to talk to kids about probably, just speaking about awareness, probably. You know what I mean? And safety and you know what I mean? Just appreciating life and. You know what I mean? Do it while you can right now. Just live life. I'm sure they kind of just, going places, giving speeches, trying to kind of tell kids just to, enjoy life, man, and be aware of everything around you.
Association that occurs. And I, too, have to just always take a moment to step back and be like, okay, however it goes, right? Like, it has to, in some way, like, it has to be accepted. But again, I can't fully accept the answers and things that were told to us at the beginning because...
Why are y'all telling me she's mixed, she's Asian, she's Blasian? I said they probably going to black colleges because of what happened to her son and what's going on in Mississippi. And this is a black topic. That's what I meant, gang. Y'all need to catch up, man. I don't know if that's y'all catch up, man. Y'all got to keep up with me, gang.
It was too soon. There was no investigation. Stories did not align. And so for people to say, hey, why can't you just accept it as a drowning and be done, and those things that have occurred. Mm-hmm. But, that's why we needed that independent autopsy. We needed to make sure that whatever was found was true. But of course, when you don't have the complete picture, that also, kind of makes you question even more, like, what exactly are we dealing with? And we need that. Like, my husband and I, our family, we need those questions answered.
When you got the news that the autopsy, for the state autopsy was done, what went through what was that like for you? What did you think?
I said, oh, wow. But then again, like Attorney Crump said, the DA did reach out. Actually, I had texted the victim's advocate, Amanda, saying, hey, were there any updates with the autopsy? I know the coroner told us it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the toxicology report to come back, which I know that was kind of the main thing they were stressing. And so then I think that afternoon, so I think that was maybe a day or two ago, the DA had called and I missed the call. And by the time I saw it, it was too late and I wasn't going to call her at 9 o'clock because I've had to change the settings on my phones because of the harassing phone calls.
Hold on. Let me run that back a little bit.
The DA did read.
What went through? What was that like for you?
Hold on.
I said, oh, wow. But then again, like Attorney Crump said, the DA did reach out. Actually, I had texted the victim's advocate, Amanda, saying, hey, were there any updates with the autopsy? I know the coroner told us it takes about 2 to 3 weeks for the toxicology report to come back, which I know that was kind of the main thing they were stressing. And so then I think that afternoon, so today is what? So I think that was maybe a day or two ago, the DA had called and I missed the call. And by the time I saw it, it was too late and I wasn't going to call her at 9 o'clock because I've had to change the settings on my phones because of the harassed phone calls I've been getting.
Dang, that's
I
crazy.
want to talk to you about all of
hey,
that.
let's get the 60 likes, gang. We at 49.
Before we go into that,
donate to the
I
platform.
just
Hit the
spoke
super
with
chat,
Ben
hit the
about
gifts. Light that bit up for
What
me.
are you hoping from Mississippi, whoever's releasing this information, whether it be the medical examiner's office, the state, or the
Hit the notification bell as well so you know when I go
from
live,
them?
gang.
You want to hear everything, I'm sure.
I would like for everyone to just do their job. I would like for everyone to treat this as if this was their child or their family member and give us the same honesty, transparency, and respect that they would expect for them or their family.
Amen. Now, can we talk about the other stuff? You went there, so I feel like
let's go. Turn up, Lemon. Come on, Lemon. Turn up, man.
We've been reporting on it.
Now, come on, Lemon. Stop the bullshit, fam. Get to the questions, fam. Yeah, you know what I mean? Tight ass t-shirt on, bro. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. Get to it, fam. Smash the like button so everybody in the
That nigga said
like
tight ass t-shirt.
Night, y'all. Rest in peace to Nolan Wells. We've been breaking this thing down. We've been combing through it. We are very unbiased over here. We really just want the truth. We want to know what happened. We just want the truth. But will we get the truth? And I mean, there's a lot of racism play a part in this shit, man. Smash the like button and salute to everybody in the building. And the autopsy is on the way, goddammit.
It's disgusting.
Like the
I'm going to
gas,
start
man.
with one thing,
That gas
and then
there.
I'll talk about
Rest in peace to Nolan Wells.
the harassment of you, and especially as a mother and then as a medical professional, and I know you take your profession very seriously when you said, I love everybody. Black, white, red, green, it does not matter. So do not get that wrong. And you've always had really good reviews. But I want to talk about this blaming the victim and smearing the victim. The reports that we've been hearing. No, Nolan was drinking. He was doing this. He was doing that. Why? I guess we know why they're doing it, but I want to know what your assessment is, how you feel about that, because even, let's just say that he was, I'm not saying that he was, let's just saying that whatever he was doing, that doesn't mean that you have to die. Then that doesn't mean he was the only one.
Exactly.
And let me ask you this real quick. I don't want to fuck it up here. I'm sorry. But what do y'all think? How you think mom and dad gonna feel if they do come back and he was full of that goddamn cocaine? Though I know y'all gonna say, well, Scully, I ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm just saying, I get it. If somebody killed him, they kill him, whether you're on cocaine, whether you're on meth, no matter what. You drunk, it don't matter. You do not deserve to be murdered. I understand that part. I'm saying, how do y'all think mom will feel if they come out and put that shit everywhere, all over the place, that your son drowned while on cocaine, while full of drugs? Do y'all think that's gonna hurt like a motherfucker, man? If they come out and say that your son died, and him being, probably high on drugs is probably the reason, full of alcohol and drugs, the 18-year-old, that's probably the reason why he died. Do you think they finna hit mom with that? Who think they finna hit the parents with that? They finna hit him with, not only was he on cocaine, he had a high alcohol blood level, and he drowned. Accidental drowning, full of cocaine. Do y'all think they finna hit this family with that, gang? Because if they do, man, Mississippi probably finna burn the fuck down. Smash that like button. Let's get back to Don Lemon. He asking all the right questions, man. Don Lemon's asking her. He getting to it.
Die. Then that doesn't mean he was the only one.
Exactly.
And what do you think young people do? On my senior trip, I was, out there, right? So I'm just saying, kids have fun. So what does that have to do with anything? That's what I don't understand. What's your assessment on this?
Honestly, I feel like that is a way, which we've seen this before, right? Pattern recognition. We've seen this where things have happened, especially when we talk about the Black community. And, after the death, it's a smear campaign. It's, what can we find out about this person? What can we say? And, that's something, my family and I, especially my husband and I, we definitely do not appreciate. But we can't like everyone that wants to have an opinion. But also, too, it's part of society that has been allowed to occur, which is it's gut-wrenching at best. Because if you were in our situation, how would you feel if there were millions of people who are saying, oh, hey, well, he was at an island, he was heavily drunk. And again, even with the drinking, there are so many conflicting stories, only because I have spoken with adults who knew Nolan very well, coaches that were out there. One in particular, I think he told me he saw Nolan somewhere between like 2:45 and 3:30. He was like, Christine, yeah, we talked for a while. We talked about college. We talked about his life, his plans. And he was like, he was perfectly fine. Because I think it had bothered him too that there was this narrative of,
okay, so one of the coaches was out there. One of the coaches was out there and said they bumped into Nolan. And they said, it seems like there's a lot of people out there that know Nolan Wells, and nobody's seen him after. It's getting, man, so one of the coaches was there as well, talked to Nolan, but nobody saw Nolan after 4:30 or after 3 o'clock, whatever. Nobody saw Nolan after the boys left, but his coaches are out there, his homies are out there, the girls he knows out there. He know a lot of people out there, man. How come nobody saw him? This is what makes people think he's on that goddamn boat. Yeah, this is what makes people think he's on that boat, because there's so many people out there that know him. Look, you know how we watch The Simpsons? They put all the characters in all those same scenes. It'd be Krusty the Clown be over there, goddamn Flanders and shit, goddamn it. You be like, the same people everywhere they go, the same chick. That's what goddamn me Ocean Springs sound like. Sound like the goddamn Simpsons. All the characters are everybody. The Katie, everybody's there. And nobody saw this nigga Nolan after 4:30. Man, you know what I mean? See, that's why everybody said he on that goddamn boat, man. And all the characters from the show is there, but nobody saw Nolan. He just drowned. His nigga just float up the day later. He float. So, you know what I mean, man? Smash that like button, gang. Salute to everybody in the building, gang.
45 and 3:30. He was like, Christine, yeah, we talked for a while. We talked about college. We talked about his life, his plans. And he was like, he was perfectly fine. Because I think it had bothered him, too, that there was this narrative of, oh, he was sloppy drunk. Like and it started at the very beginning. It was, oh, he was sloppy drunk. And I'm like, but was he, though? Or is this a narrative that you guys want to use to kind of have us just accept that it was a drowning?
Mom said she think everybody. Now remember, one of Nolan's friends came and said Nolan was fucking, the word he used, I quote, he said Nolan was fucking hammered, dude. Remember that? One of the friends came and said, man, hey, dude, hold on, dude. Last time I seen Nolan, man, you know what I mean? Hey, man, Nolan was fucking hammered, dude. You know what I mean? Like, everybody said, not everybody, but, you know, people are saying that Nolan was out there drinking.
Man,
Now, Mom is saying that one of the coaches talked to her and said, I seen Nolan out there. I talked to him around, 2:30, 3 o'clock type shit. Nolan was perfectly fine, man. Nolan wasn't staggering around. Nolan wasn't faded. Like, Nolan had a white powder around his nose. I mean, Nolan looked perfectly fine, had a normal conversation with me. So who do you believe at this point, man? See, now we at that part. That's what makes this shit such a mystery, because now we at the crossroads with not only Katie and Warren. You know what I mean? Now we got the coach and the friend who said, hey, man, Nolan was hammered, dude. Then you got the coach saying, nah, bro, I seen him. He was perfectly fine. So if somebody's lying, man. Somebody's lying.
Y'all think somebody lying, gang?
Everybody, but we not
y'all think somebody lying?
Gang. We breaking down everything.
Let me know in the chat, man. Is somebody lying or
Are you
not?
prepared for whatever it is? I know that's tough. You know, that's a yes and no question.
Honestly, it's hard to be prepared in any way.
I'm watching the chat.
Way we have been thrusted onto the national stage and just kind of everything. And it's going to take a long time. So even, you know, God willing, when we do get honest, transparent answers, right? Even when we get those answers, it's still going to take a moment. Not even a moment. It's still going to take a while for us to digest and really accept that. Because again, and this is just me now speaking from a medical standpoint, we're kind of stuck in one of the stages of grief because we don't have answers. And that's the thing people don't understand. Everyone grieves differently. You hit those stages of grief at different times, and sometimes you feel like they might go on at the same time. But right now, we're kind of just stuck, and we can't move forward because we don't have answers.
So when you talk about all the things that have been
Shout out to Compton Bomb, man. He said Shady K knew exactly what happened, man. Shout out to Compton Bomb, y'all. Salute to Compton, man. Y'all know Compton fuck with a nigga over here, man. Salute to everybody. But the Compton Bomb is stuck on Katie, man. He's saying follow Katie, and you will find out exactly what happened to Nolan, man. Yeah, I don't think Compton Bomb believes Nolan never got on that boat. Smash that like button. Salute to my guy Compton Bomb.
And there is this officer, I hate mentioning his name, a former officer who is a far right wing, who's been doing the interviews and has been saying, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum. No.
Why she say his name? Man, that's what he wanted, gang. That's exactly what he wanted, man. Dixie Play, what's good? Dixie Play Chronicles. That's exactly what he wanted, man. He was exactly what he wanted. He was, boy, I gotta go check in. I gotta go check in with Tatum, man. I gotta go check in with Tatum in a minute. I gotta see how he responds to this, gang.
We saw that already,
we gotta
gang.
go check in with Tatum in a minute, gang.
We just watched that already.
I gotta go check in with Tatum in a minute.
We just watched that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not even going to comment on Brandon Tatum. No.
I respect that. And that's the right answer for everybody, I believe. I feel like, because I mentioned him, I'm like, why did I even mention him? Because he doesn't deserve a platform.
No, he does not.
So let's talk about the people, the young men that he's been interviewing. They're saying they're his best friends. Some of them you said that you don't know. One of them even said, Nolan would be outraged by the way his parents are handling this. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, why on earth would somebody go on and say that?
Hold on, salute, y'all. This is the part we want to hear right here. This is what we want to hear. Shout out to Solo Dolo, man. I'm at work, but I'm still listening, still lighting gas up. Salute. So Solo Dolo, don't get fired. You work at the old folks home, and you still lighting up. Come on, fam. Yeah. I'm gonna find out what you doing, get your ass fired, my nigga. They tell me he's still lighting up and shit. He worked at the old folks home. You already told me you work for a nursing home. Smash that like button, salute to everybody in the video game. This is what I want to hear, y'all. I want to hear about these interviews. I want to hear what Mom got to say about the interviews that Officer Tatum did with the boys.
We'll go with Warren. You don't know. One of them even said, "Oh, Nolan would be outraged by the way his parents are handling this," and I'm like, "Wait, what? Like, why on earth would somebody go on and say that about a grieving family?" But go.
Again, distraction. We're not even gonna address them or that man. We only want the truth. Again, at the end of the day, I'm gonna say it like I've been saying it. The only question we have is what happened to Nolan. That's what we need to know. That's it. That's all.
Dad.
Hold on. Let me run it back. Let me run it back.
Let's talk about the people, the young men that he's been interviewing. They're saying they're his best friends. Some of them you said that you don't know. One of them even said, "Oh, Nolan would be outraged by the way his parents are handling this." And I'm like, "Wait, what? Like, why on earth would somebody go on and say that about a grieving family?" But go.
Again, distraction. We're not even gonna address them or that man. We only want the truth. Again, at the end of the day, I'm going to say it like I've been saying it. The only question we have is what happened to Nolan. That's what we need to know. That's it. That's all.
Dad,
Yeah.
Dad, you've been here. We saw
Well,
you yesterday.
the mother said it. The mother said, "That's it. That's all."
For your son, but for others as well who have been involved in mysterious deaths. That was a very emotional moment for you, and the vulnerability I saw there. What do you want to say to folks who are your wife is getting, threats? She's being harassed. Those families have been treated like they're a nuisance by police departments, according to the reporting. What do you want to say to America about this?
Like my wife said, just from a parent standpoint, we just want to know what happened. We want a fair and thorough investigation, just like the other families, because we heard just like them. If this was their children, they would want to know. They would want to go to every resource they can get to the ends of the world to find out what happened. So then that's all we're doing. We're not accusing anyone. We just want to know what happened to our son, because it doesn't add up. Times don't add up, stories don't add up, and it just doesn't. So we just want a fair and thorough investigation so we can grieve properly, because we can't, because there are so many answers, but so many questions that are not answered.
I don't know if you want to respond to this, or Ben or Christine. The father of one of the young men who's been speaking out has put up a $50,000 reward reportedly.
Here we go.
What do you think of that, Ben or Elmore or Christine?
Yeah, we are happy with anybody who wants to share the objective to get into the truth of what happened to Nolan Wells. So we applaud it, and we say, let's all work together to get answers, because as we've said continuously down limit, adamantly, somebody saw something, somebody knows something. I mean, and that's what you want, are answers.
Mm-hmm. Ben, yes, we all do want answers in this. Can you talk to us about that press conference yesterday? Because it's not just, and all of them 18 years old, these young people, right? There was a very emotional press conference with the family and the grandmother.
You know what I was hoping Ben Crump would say? I was hoping Ben Crump was going to go out like Muhammad Ali or somebody, just a time for just the perfect line, man. I thought Crump was going to say, man, fuck that white boy and his goddamn money, man. Your goddamn son killed Nolan. I thought he was going to give me, I was waiting on that. I was either fuck him, fuck that money, Tyler Perry, Al Sharpton, T.O. put the paper up. The paper's been put up, nigga. The motherfucking ass on, nigga. I'm thinking like he finna scold him. He's finna scold him for that. Yeah, I mean, you trying to play a part, man. I believe your son had something to do with this, man. We don't want your fucking money, man. Put that shit away. We do not want that shit. Smash that like button, gang. Salute to everybody. I thought he was gonna go off, man.
You chose to highlight that at the Urban League. Tell us why.
I am so thankful that Christine and Elmore, Nolan's parents, were open to being able to use the attention that they have been blessed with in the loss of their son to try to help other 18-year-old black boys who were lost in similar manner as Nolan. Don Lemon, you and I have been doing this for years, where you use your platforms to give, a voice to those who don't have a voice. And when you saw that press conference yesterday, you saw two families completely devastated, where you had that 18-year-old black boys, three families, all in search of the truth, coming together about what really happened to their children. You had Daniel Irvin, who, like Nolan, they're saying it was an accidental drowning, even though his mother said he was on the swim team. And the fact that he was, on a fishing trip or something with two other white teenagers, he allegedly accidentally drowns, and then they throw away his cell phone, they throw away his clothes, and they delete all their text messages with him. And his mother, Tamika, is out of her mind trying to say, where's my baby? And after 4 days and all-out search where the activist community and everybody
right here in Dallas, right here in Dallas.
Then one of the young men and his parents come forward and say, well, he accidentally drowned and we were scared, so we got rid of evidence, and, we are sorry. And so they're charged with tampering with evidence that they lied about, and his mother...
They say, y'all, and make sure if y'all can, man, we gotta keep our eyes on this court date. When the white boy, or when what's his name, Lucas Roper, when he goes to court out here in Dallas, I need to be in the courtroom. I need to pull up. I need to go check that out. I need to pull up, man. I need to pull up to Dallas the next time Lucas Roper goes to court for sure. I need to take y'all there. Rest in peace to Daniel Irvin, man. That's some bullshit, man. We need murder charges. Fuck that tamper with evidence shit.
Tamika is saying, if you lied about his cell phone, you lied about throwing away his clothes, you lied about deleting text messages, then how can we believe you when you say he accidentally drowned when my son was a swimmer? And the fact that the Dallas Police Department took 3 months, even after they confessed to doing all of this, Don Lemon, before they did anything. And she adamantly believes that it was because of Nolan Wells that they finally arrested them for tampering with evidence. She didn't think they were going to do anything, and this was just this black mother by herself just fighting down. Nobody gave them any attention in the media and stuff. And so that's what this is about, trying to make sure people know our children's lives matter too. And then, Don, Tyler Smith in Lexington, Kentucky. I mean, on 4th of July, this is the same day that Nolan goes. Her son, Lindsay Smith's son, Tyler, is at the house celebrating 4th of July, and he's the only black person there. And he somehow ends up shot in the head, dead. 911 is called, the police call, and then they say they were playing Russian roulette.
Man, you got me fucked up, bro. I mean, hell nah, bro. Man, your kinfolk get killed, your whoever, somebody you love closely died. Somebody say we was all playing Russian roulette. So nah, you got me fucked up, fam. Nah, we burning some shit down. You mean to tell me so one of y'all was supposed to, everybody was in a suicide. Y'all was all, you know what I mean? Well, shoot yourself now then. You know what I mean? Because remember, let me see, the only one I'm gonna believe you is if you blow your damn brains out right there in front of me. You know what I mean? Whoever was playing Russian roulette with my bro, go ahead and shoot yourself now. Let me see you do it. Because I don't know if y'all was playing or not. Let's play again. Yeah, let's run that shit back. We don't believe that shit, gang. He was in a party full of white kids, 4th of July. Everybody, kicking it, chilling and shit, enjoying life. And everybody's going through a suicide circle and shit, passing the pistol around. You do it, dude. You do it, man. You need to spin that motherfucker. You do it, dude. Everybody's passing the You turn, motherfucker. Like, come on, man. So it just turned into just a buicide party. It just out of nowhere, shit just got dark. Man, somebody shot that young man in the head, fam. Rest in peace to Tyler Smith, man, Lexington, Kentucky, man.
That it was an accidental shooting, that he shot himself. And the police didn't on his hands or anybody's hands. They just take their word for it.
You said no gunshot residue test because you cut out. The police didn't do a gunshot residue test, right? And then when she said, when
gunshot residue test done on nobody's hands at the party in the Tyler Smith case, where they say he was playing Russian roulette and just the only black person there, he just so happened to be the nigga that pulled the lucky trigger. Yeah, he won the lottery that night. Yeah. He won the lottery that night. Out of everybody there, the one nigga just blew his shit all over the wall in front of everybody. Everybody runs and shit. They say he was playing Russian roulette. The police don't test nobody's hands for gunpowder residue.
Wow. Told the grandmother and they asked, you know, how do you know it was an accidental or whatever? And she said, because they said so, the people with him. That's not an investigation.
That's not an investigation, but thank God for that courageous black grandmother who refused to say, no, I'm not going to just let y'all sweep my grandson death under the rug. She kept asking for the gunshot residue. She kept arguing. So they took a gun that was there at the scene that they said was what he used to kill himself. And they then did an analysis. Down limit, they found out that the casings did not match that gun. And so then they had to investigate everybody who was at the house. Nobody volunteered anything. They went 7 days later to a young man's house, surrounded it, and then finally he came out and offered the gun and said, this is the gun that he shot himself with. What? And you would think they would say, hold on. Man, ain't no motherfucking way. The day we went to the house, why did you tamper with evidence? Why did you take evidence away from the scene? They only charged him with tampering with evidence. They still have not charged anybody with killing Tyler Smith, even though if you didn't do anything wrong, why would you take the gun from the scene of the alleged shooting? And so it's just awful. And, you know, we have to continue to stay on that. I think all of these cases, we're going to find the answers out to what happened, Don. We're going to find it out. 3 18-year-old black boys.
Ben, I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I have to ask you some legal questions here because it's part of the story, and I want to get debunk stuff that's not true.
Yep.
So there have been reports of legal maneuvering from the mom, the parents, to open up the estate, to investigate, possibly sue people who are for misinformation. Are those things true? Do you want to talk about that?
Certainly. Don, as you know, we're not law enforcement, so to get subpoena power and information, we have to have a legal apparatus. So, state in Nolan Wells' name, and because we have to do that.
Can you back up a little bit? You cut out. I'm sorry. Back up just a little bit. I want everybody to hear this. Pardon me.
Yeah. Let's be clear. Because we're not law enforcement, we're private entities, and we have to use certain legal apparatuses that are available to us. One such thing is we open up estates, which, as we all know, is the only entity that can speak for somebody once they are deceased. And so his mother is over his estate. But once we get the estate open, down limit, that then gives us the right to be able to subpoena people and entities and corporations to preserve evidence, to preserve information. So that's why we sent those subpoenas out, because we want that evidence to be preserved, because we don't know what is going to be relevant and not relevant, but we don't want it to be destroyed or lost. And so we want to look at the phone records. We want to look at the social media records. We want to look at the text messages, because that may be very valuable information to discovering what happened to Nolan Wells.
Mm-hmm. And this possible intent to sue, is that part of that? Does that go along with those?
You have to say that language to preserve it. Like, we, in anticipation of litigation, we want to make sure you preserve this information. Right now, we don't know where the information information is going to lead us.
As of now.
We don't know what the answers are, but we're in a ferocious search for the truth. And based on that, then we will do things that are necessary to get some measure of justice for Nolan Wells' family. We hope and pray that we can find out the answers as to what happened to Nolan, and that the district attorney and the government authorities would do what is appropriate based on the evidence that is ascertained. We want to make sure that this is treated just as if it was anybody's child that was taken, that you will say we want equal justice. And as I said over and over again, I am for truth, no matter who it implicates or who it exonerates. I am for justice, no matter who it convicts or who it acquits. We are for transparency so everybody can see.
And the question you were asked yesterday about the father of one of the young men saying that that you somehow slandered his son and he's looking at suing.
I don't even know. I don't even know who he is. It's a distraction, Don. I don't even recall calling any of those young men's names ever out of my mouth. But it's a distraction.
I don't recall it either. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're
My
not
bad,
going to
Warren.
be
It's Warren's
distracted.
dad. Warren's dad.
So I will to the parents while we're here. Mr. Elmore, do you have anything else that you want to say? Transparency from the DA's office, from the state of Mississippi, for what your family's dealing with?
No, just like Mr. Crump said, we just want a truthful and a transparent and a fair investigation. We want no answers. And that's the only sign we can agree.
Mom?
Once again, if there is anyone who has original photos, videos, if you saw something, please contact the hotline, just so we, again, can get the answers that we are desperately searching for. And if you really are Nolan's friend, and you saw something, you need to call. You absolutely need to call. Because at the end of the day, if it were you and your parents, I'm sure they would be doing the same.
Thank you, Miss Christine. Thank you, Ben. Ben, just can you hand the phone? Ben, thank you. And I really appreciate you joining us. And I want to make sure that you said everything. Yeah.
Hopefully, we're going to have more breaking news on Lexington, Kentucky. I think some people are about to tell us what really happened in that house with Tyler Smith. We'll keep you informed.
Thank you, Benjamin Crump, Elmore, and Christine Wansley. Thank you so much.
I sure hope they find out something in all them cases, man. Smash that like button. Salute to everybody in the building, y'all.
Man, it's crazy, gang.
As of right now, I guess the autopsy is the main thing people are waiting on. But I know a lot of y'all not gonna believe what the autopsy say, man. Like I said, how do y'all think the mom is gonna feel, the dad? How y'all think they gonna feel?
Man, this is crazy. Y'all get the lights up, gang. We finna get ready to get up out of here, gang. I gotta get up. Man,
y'all think that would?
We gonna keep our eye on the whole thing. Get what? All we gotta do, we gotta wait in court till they present the evidence, gang. Like they said, we gotta wait.
We don't believe it. Do y'all think no matter what this autopsy report reads, the family is gonna say we don't believe it? Now, shout out to Nolan Wells' mom and dad. As parents, we gonna all smash your baby, man. That's your child, man.
We gonna come back and cover some more, gang. Y'all hit the like and notification bell on your way out, gang. No cap. We're gonna come back and cover some more news. If y'all look at my beginning of my show, we covered the Big U and Future situation. So we covered that. We covered the Nolan situation, gang. We're gonna be covering more topics, gang. We're gonna keep covering topics over a little bit, gang. No cap. Hit the like notification bell and sub button, gang.
Smash that like button, gang.
It's sad.
Not everybody rocks with the family, man. You feel me? Not everybody rocks with the mom.
I gotta get up, gang. Salute. I'm gonna see y'all, gang. Hit that notification bell, hit the like button, hit the super chat, hit the gifts for me. Salute to Rewatch gang too. See y'all, gang. We gone. We gotta get up, gang.
Dog right here, man. Probably your man.